America starting at only $15.9. I'm RC Hill. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $3 down. Require bank approval.
Mom packed your lunches, carpooled like a champ, and never once left you at soccer practice. Pay her back with her favorite cocktails on demand. The Bartisian cocktail maker crafts premium drinks at the touch of a button. No mess, no measuring, just bar quality bliss in under 30 seconds. Skip the flowers, skip the robe. This year, give her something she actually wants.
That's the one.
Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
Eustace Roofing, with over 65 years of experience in Central Florida, provides a VIP experience with an on-site crew lead, project manager, and expert team for every home. No wonder they won National Roofing Company of the Year. Visit EustaceRoofing.com to schedule your free estimate.
Mornings are unpredictable. But West 2 News Sunrise can get your day started on the right track.
We have team coverage this morning
with breaking news and what's happening now.
Breaking this morning, investigators.
Central Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Central Florida is under a first warning severe weather warning day.
And up-to-the-minute traffic to simplify your morning commute.
Impacting traffic exiting at that ramp this morning.
Jason, Meredith, Sonica, Kellyanne, and Megan. West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
On the next, Access Hollywood.
The shocking TV death that everyone's talking about.
It's obviously so heartbreaking. It's so terrible. And it's going to be so hard to take.
Then Luke Bryan and Lionel Richie on Katy Perry's Race to Space. Plus,
he was terrified of meeting you.
Yes.
Brad Paisley's better half reveals a true love tale, and you know her from Blackpink, and now she's one of Coachella's breakout solo stars. Who is Lisa?
Hey, Mario Lopez here. Please join me for Access Hollywood tonight at 7:30 on West 2.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here, and I've got great news. The Filoski Eye Institute is now offering a free LASIK exam to see if you're a candidate, plus $500 off each eye when you elect a procedure. That's $1,000 off your surgery, but it's for a limited time only. Ditch those glasses because this offer won't last. Simply dial pound 250 and say Better Vision. That way you can schedule your appointment today. That's pound 250 and say Better Vision. The Filoski Eye Institute, trusted, local, life-changing.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Lots to get to today, from who will be the next pope to a post office employee parties a little too hard. And let's analyze the Shannon Sharpe Bombshell lawsuit, plus your calls, dispatches, messages, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, Seeley.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Record yours at thenewsjunkie.com right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Share that show.
That's right, everybody. That's right. This is when you rep the show, and it's so easy for you, especially if you're one of the nice, fine folks over there on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. That's your version of sharing the show. If you're on the podcast side of things and you know people who like podcasts and are looking for new shows, say, hey, here's a link to the News Junkie podcast. Tell a friend, hey, on your break, once you check out the live stream of the station, all of those things are ways you can share the show. Even just yelling out at a stoplight to somebody else. Hey, check out the News Junkie. And maybe they'll know what you're talking about. Maybe they'll think you're crazy. Who the hell knows? How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah. Busy, productive, whatever.
Yeah, moving along. The week is upon us. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts this week to get to. So let's get started today. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And I wonder, who did this man sell his soul to? Okay, that's what I wonder. Dick Van Dyke, the guy's about 100. He's literally 99 years old.
Yeah.
And he was recently at an event. And at 99.9, Dick Van Dyke can still rattle off the I can't even do it now.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That one right there. He can do it better than me. Here he goes.
Because I was afraid to keep, I would have just
What a cutie pie.
Oh my God. And then one day
Hold on.
That is pretty impressive at 99.9 years old.
Very impressive. Someone not impressed, the Gen Zer that just walked in front of the camera.
He walked right by.
With that weird haircut that they all have now. They put it on C-Lane last week.
Oh, yeah, the mop top thing.
Ice cream scoop.
Dick Van Dyke still knows at least most of the words. And I would argue this is a lyrically complex song, even though it's kind of made up and stuff. At 99, my brain's going to be with worms.
Well,
just unbelievable, man.
I mean, it is worth mentioning that when those older folk go senile or go into the little dementia zone, it is the music that still sticks.
Oh, yeah.
That's true for some of them, yeah.
Every single thing. But when I saw the headline and I pulled it for the next episode, I immediately assumed we're going to get another what's-his-face from the Grease theme song. Valley.
Oh, Frankie Valley. Yeah,
where they don't even turn on his microphone anymore. He just moves his mouth a little bit, and it seems like he's on strings. And then they grab the money at the end of the night and say, we'll see you tomorrow.
I'm telling you, Dick Van Dyke, he seems with it. He's 99 years old.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you know the sound comes.
I actually hate the song, but I was just impressed that the guy can still rattle it off. At 99.
Come on, you didn't even get to the
I'm not playing that crap.
It slaps, actually.
That part slaps.
Yeah.
Not
that necessarily.
This vocal cover of it is distracting, I think.
He's still pounding like a 50-year-old. He's rocking out.
Oh, you got video of that, too?
You say pounding.
All right,
have you seen a turtle have sex?
Let me rephrase. He's still sexually interacting with a younger woman than him, right? At some level. And he's also, his brain is kicking, man, at 99. It's the dream. Maybe he's reverse aging. Maybe it's happening for Dick Van Dyke.
It's also like any second now, you know?
Well, no, not
all
for
of us
him.
That have had
no.
grandparents, great-grandparents, they're sharp until it's like a day changeover.
Can I tell you the worst thing about internet comments these days, besides internet comments, is all of the stories that I see like this. The second comment is, "Good morning. I'm a producer at 7 News in Boston. Would you give us permission to put this on the?" Just do it, man. It's called prepping for the show, getting everything ready, and offering up some content with a little bit of criticism around it. And my criticism for you as Dick Van Dyke is you.
Watch your mouth.
You're doing a great job. No criticism. All right, none. Zero for you.
Dick.
Keep rocking it at 99. What's the secret? Is it being with a younger person in your relationship?
It's having a name with 2 slurs in it.
Is it that? Well, then you could change mine right now. I'll take it. I'll take the name change if my brain is working like that at 99 years old. Bye-bye, Sean Wasson. Hello, B.B. McBeeberson, right? It's happening, and I'll be happy for it in a million years.
Chat, if you'd like to have some suggestions, dispatches, absolutely not. But there's not enough dump for that.
Bleepy McBleeperson doesn't do it for you?
No, just Sean's new nickname. And then we do the dance.
No, because they're going to try to do it. The dispatchers will be like, "I got an idea." And then some guy with truck nuts is going to say the F word for gays 3 times or something. This is what we're going to get. Trust me, I know where these roads lead.
Frankie.
We don't want that. No, it's going to be bad. You know, one of the craziest things happening right now, it's so strange to go out with a whimper like this. The hacker known as 4chan is ripped, basically.
No way.
Yeah.
That one guy?
The hacker known as 4chan. This is kind of stunning to me because 4chan, if you don't know what it is, it's a website that's been around for a very long time. It's an image board. It was started by a guy named Christopher Poole. He went by the name Moot on 4chan back in the early days, and it was essentially the underbelly of the internet.
The good old days is what Sean calls it.
Where all the wild stuff happened, you know, where we're just absolutely crazy things and most memes would originate. And since then, this has splintered off to a lot of places and taught me one of the big lessons of the internet, which is that there is a portion of the population, right around 20% or so, that are bad, nasty, gross people that you don't want to ever be around or hang out with. They're not worthy of your time or conversation, and you should just kick them to the curb. And that percentage of people has to go somewhere online. So they go to all these splinter sites. Sometimes they end up on newer ones like SoyJack or wherever. 8chan, Half-chan, all these different websites where people end up on these levels of the web. But for the last week or so, 4chan has been done, RIP, down, because somebody hacked into some of their content.
Forgot about 4chan, I got to be honest.
I mean, they managed to survive so much. Now, of course, everybody knows what happens. The people just go somewhere else. They started out, if you don't know how the history of the internet went, basically, there was a website called Something Awful. And the Something Awful forums were where a lot of the bad stuff happened early internet days. They spun from there into some of these image board websites. Then they went from there into websites, some of which I had some hand in at different points in my life.
Slapjack?
And all of the bad people are out there in these areas. But one of their home bases, which is 4chan, 4CHAN, named after, I don't even know if I should wander down that road because you won't know what I'm talking about.
I'm very curious.
Just take a moment of your time when you're using the restroom for an extended break and look up the Wikipedia for a gentleman, ? By the name of Chris Chan. And then you'll understand where all of this stuff
is the
comes
question
from.
mark because you don't know if he's indeed a male or if he's not quite a nice enough to bear the title gentleman.
Great question. I can't. This is one of those things where I have things in my life where I'm very online and I attempt to talk to somebody about them. Like I attempted to talk to Courtney. I've never seen eyes glaze more. I was going to tell her about iDubbbz versus Ethan Klein and what's been happening with the back and forth between them and Bad Empanada. And then she looks at me and goes, "I have no idea what we're talking about."
I'll tell you what, just Googled Chris Chan 4chan. First thing that comes up is a Reddit post from 4 months ago that says Chris Chan 1. And from what I can see, first sentence, dude, I'm still a virgin who hasn't even dated or kissed a girl. Chris Chan is going to be a father and got laid twice and survived jail. Am I in the right direction or am I adding a couple more keywords?
Chris Chan's most notable lay was probably his mother.
What? A record scratch?
I gotta go, okay? I gotta go. Nobody's gonna know. This is gonna be worse than talking about The Last of Us without talking about The Last of Us. Nobody is gonna know anything about what I'm talking about right now. It's all RIP, so don't worry about it.
It wasn't part of the crux of this that 4chan got hacked and they found the identities of the like anonymous moderators that were kind of stoking the flames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Jannies, the janitors that run the website. And then since then, it's been closed. But the people just go to Twitter. They just go to other sites. There's just horrible people all around.
Yay.
It happens. It's the nature of the internet, and you'll never get rid of them. And, unless we confirm our identities online, but who wants to do that, right? When we come back, we're going to get started off full force on a busy Tuesday show. Who's going to be the next pope?
Me.
You know, there's not only a black pope in the mix, potentially, there's an Asian pope in the mix. I looked at this morning. They said two of the top contenders, one's a black pope potential, and one's an Asian pope potential. And I said, we got to figure out about these guys and see what's going on with this Pope picking world. So we'll look into that at some point. When we return, though, a postal worker, got a lot of postal workers that are friends of the show that listen to us each day. We love you. We appreciate you. One of them flew a little too close to the sun. She partied a little bit too hard. Now they're coming down on her, and we'll go through her journey and hear from her next. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hoping your ride in Orlando is a safe one right now. Looks like a delay due to an incident is eastbound of Maitland Boulevard. That's State Road 414. That's at OBT. Right now, your usual delay, I-4, that's going to be eastbound after the 429 toll. Also, east and westbound approaching State Road 535. No issues on the Turnpike or the 408. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey there, Sabrina from the News Junkie here, and RVing is hands down one of my favorite ways to travel. There's just something incredible about hitting the open road, exploring new places, and making unforgettable memories, but also the convenience. That's why I'm so excited to team up with Giant Recreation World. They have everything you need: RV and golf cart sales, rentals, parts, and outstanding service. Plus, with 3 convenient locations in Central Florida, Winter Garden, Palm Bay, and Orland Beach, you're always close.
Let's go, Mike. The microphone's on. Okay. Celsius Sparkling Orange. Is this the best one?
I like it. Don't get you high.
Like you?
That was bad. I felt like Jonah Hill and 21 Jump Street.
You were Cheech and Chong. You only had 2 of those things.
I felt like it was like, when he's under all the clouds and...
What if you would have had a whole bunch? What if you would have just drank like...
If I didn't know and I had never gotten high before, I probably wouldn't have been at the hospital. I'm not kidding.
You're not drinking any marijuana drinks. Get out of here. You're a stoner.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
You're a stoner. Oh, my God. Last night was a no-drink night, and Courtney was like, I'm going to have one of these THC seltzers. And she had one. She's like, these are pretty good. And then she went into the second one, and then all of a sudden she looked at me and she goes, oh, my God. They shouldn't be able to sell these, she said. flew a little too close to the sun herself. Hello, everybody. James says, bring on the Black Pope. I don't know if the Black Pope will have the votes. You know, whoever gets the most votes is the winner. They got about 130, I think, popes that are of the right age bracket that they can vote. And they'll have to determine who's next pope in line. But could be a Black Pope. I don't know how people will take Black Pope. Could be interested. Lisa says, I love those drinks. Lisa, it's not that the THC drinks are bad by any stretch of the imagination. They're actually really good. They're delicious. But I had one, and then when I was sitting on the couch after Secret shows one day, I go, oh, wow, I can actually feel this. These things are pretty significant. So she tried one, and she didn't feel it. And then the second one that she tried was like, woo, right off. She went right off the edge. A little too far. 2 minutes. Good afternoon, Heather Jones. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody, thank you for subscribing. Like the video. Like the live stream over on YouTube. Hello to Twitch. What I'll tell you is going to happen is I think, minor prediction here, we're going to see a slew of stories about people getting too high, not knowing what to expect because the THC drinks are so new. So I think you're going to have like a lot of like 20-something inexperienced drinkers go, I'll get the THC drink. And then they're going to go in there and they'll be like, oh, these are just like shots. And then they're going to think, I'm not feeling these shots. I don't feel it like I feel a shot of vodka. And then they're going to have so many that they hit them all at once and they're going to end up needing help. I think there will be a bunch of stories on that. 90 seconds. Tanya said, were you smoking and drinking? I don't smoke. I don't smoke anything. Smoke-free since 2023. Actually, that's true. I did that on accident, but that is factual. When we come back, a U.S. postal worker is driving around and one of her mail stops says, hey, you want a party? And she takes them up on that. We'll see how things went. I think you could guess, being that she's on the show. But all right, that's coming up next. We'll be back in a moment.
Every morning, because we started together.
Watch the Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right, you want that tax-advantaged money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This
Hey, somebody out there, write this down and just take note because I'm going to make a prediction for end of year 2025 right now that'll be 100% accurate. There has been a new addition that we mentioned briefly to liquor stores across America. Out of nowhere, it seems, right? These liquor stores all of a sudden have a new aisle, and it's all THC drinks. And it's not alcohol, it's drinks with THC in them. And they have like a seltzer drink, and then they have like a shot version that would be like the equivalent of you pouring a shot and taking it. But all of it is very different. It's very, very different than drinking, where you take a shot of vodka, you know you just took a shot of something, and you start, whoa, all right, settling into the vodka.
Who could I massage right now?
And you kind of feel out your drunk experience like that. My call is in the second half of 2025, we're going to start seeing stories about a bunch of people who bought these THC drinks, had no idea what they were in for, and ended up really high. They're just like,
I mean, but it's just the new way of the brownie, where you meet that person who's not used to smoking weed and eats 3 brownies because they tasted really good.
And they don't talk for a week. They end up in a room somewhere, padded room, because they got a little too high. You're going to see these stories because all these people are going to the liquor store, and I don't think they have any idea what they're getting into. Courtney last night was a no drink night, and she goes, "Oh, well, we got those THC seltzer things. Let's try one." I go, "Okay." And then she tries the first one. She's like, "These are really tasty. They're only like 20 calories too. It's like a really nice seltzer. I would drink this over just like a regular seltzer." And then she has the second one. We're about to go turn off the movie that's done. And we're about to go lay in bed for the night. It's about 1 o'clock or so in the morning. And she just slow turns, swivels her head to me, and she goes, "Oh my God." and I said,
"What a cutie."
What? And she goes, "They shouldn't be able to sell this stuff."
This is awesome.
And I proceeded to watch her like one of those robots in the half marathon yesterday, just kind of walking to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm excited.
And I go, "Do you want me to put on a TV show or something?" She goes, "I don't know."
Just do the screensaver where the DVD logo tries to hit the corners.
I look, she lays down in bed, and I go, "I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll meet you in here." And so I go to the bathroom. I was gone for 4 or 5 minutes or something, and I went back.
Sean.
She was still laying in bed, just staring at the blank television. She didn't go anywhere. She didn't do anything.
I'm just so confused because it can't be THC, right?
It is. I think
our state laws have it so that it must.
I don't understand it either, Sabrina. I don't know, because somebody said, Elder of Rock says, you don't need a medical card for these.
No,
you don't. But it's a real thing. I don't know if it's like a loophole. I'm telling you, there will be people just like the gummies and stuff who are going in who don't understand this world. Certainly I'm amongst them. And I'll go, "Seltzers? I can drink about 12 White Claws, and you will be higher than Cheech plus Chong times Timothy Leary," okay?
And you know what's going to happen? It's going to be that old lady who thinks it's just a plain seltzer before she drives the school bus.
It's going to be a school bus lady, yeah. The lady,
poor gal.
the Spanish lady who barely spoke English, and
But has
her
been doing
roommate,
it for 30 years, and her roommate had the White Claws.
she had White Claws in the fridge, and she's like, "Oh, nice little refreshing bev for the school bus ride today." And they're going to grab these and go, "Cool, this looks good. Look at all the fun drawings on the front of this can." And the next thing you know,
All right,
whoa,
kids, you're here,
whoa.
and it's an open field.
Launched into space. So be careful out there.
Yeah, there's this Farm Bill of 2018, and it says hemp products are federally legal as long as they contain only hemp-derived cannabinoids and less than 0.3% Delta-9 THC, which doesn't seem like much. But
it's enough. I can tell you it's enough. I've had one. You've had one too, C-Lane.
I've had a few of them.
And it sends you out to sea. So I just think a lot of meemaws and peepaws are going to dip their toes in that pool. And then the next thing they know, they're on their pool patio just staring at the frogs for 4.5 hours.
And then it's not their pool.
The whole time they were on a golf course. It's going to be really disturbing. You'll end up just like this lady right here in front of me. And she had a bit of a rough time. That's how you end up with the sheriff's office logo superimposed over your face as a watermark. She had a tough time. She was just trying to enjoy herself. She is a USPS worker. Shouts out to all you USPS workers out there. It's a tough gig, lots of packages to deliver.
And we salute you because a lot of you listen to the show while you're driving around. We're happy to be your friend out there each day. But this woman was arrested. Why? Well, it was a bit of a bumpy ride for her. And she was arrested on a DUI charge after drinking vodka at a house party along her delivery route in Melbourne, Florida. The 33-year-old was arrested. She was a bit drunk, you might say.
What time was this house party?
It must say in here, because USPS workers tend to get done with their routes before too late, right?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Sometimes I see them out after dark, but not very often. This says a USPS worker was arrested earlier this month in Melbourne after she drank alcohol at a house party on her route and was later caught driving the wrong way in traffic, according to a probable cause affidavit. Caitlin Dye, shouts out to you, 33, was arrested on a charge of DUI. According to the affidavit, Melbourne police were notified that a USPS mail truck was driving in the wrong lane, and the driver was throwing plastic cups out of the vehicle as they were cruising down the street. They're just like, ah! When officers arrived, they saw the mail truck driving the wrong way. They said the truck swerved in and out of its lane and traveled to the opposite lane. They pulled the lady over. She appeared confused and disoriented. Her field sobriety exercises were indicative of somebody under the influence, they said. Police then questioned Caitlin Dye, who said she was delivering to a home on Riverview Drive when she was invited inside for a party. I feel you, Dye. I feel you. I've been in this position, out delivering water and somebody's having a party and they go, come on in, man, hang out with us. And you're like, that's tempting. Party a little bit, but you shouldn't do it. She said she drank 2 shots of vodka and then she was pulled over. They asked her why she was swerving in and out of traffic. She said she had fallen asleep while driving. That's why all of this happened. Multiple witnesses said she had almost struck multiple vehicles as the truck swerved down the roadway.
She also told the cops that the cup she threw out was water to swish in her mouth so it wouldn't smell like alcohol.
She wanted to get rid of that alcohol smell, yeah, and just tossing those cups down the road. Not a good day on the job for this lady, or maybe a good one. But USPS workers, how late are you out there on the roads? Or is this a day party going on, maybe? What's happening with this? See, like, what day was April 12th? April 12th, 10 days ago. So Saturday. Oh, so USPS workers? Yeah.
Saturday?
Okay, that makes sense. It's Saturday. Somebody's probably having like a cookout or something. And they go, hey, a USPS employee, come on in. And she parties with him for a little while, but party's just a little too hard.
Could you imagine if you were the person that invited that lady in, reading this article today and going, oh, man.
I mean, it just doesn't seem that she is used to drinking. After 2 shots, you're falling asleep and driving on the opposite side of the road.
That can't be right.
I just love that she accepted the invitation. Like, I don't drink ever, but yeah, I'll come in while I'm on the clock.
Oh, come on, though. How many times do people say, I only had 2 drinks? I've said that, for God's sake, to the cops back in the day. Oh, yeah, I used to make many bad decisions. I don't drink and drive these days. It's very, very bad. You never should do it. You're a bad person if you do it. You're putting other people's lives at risk. If you want to put your life at risk, that's fine. Do it. Go for it. Live your life. And YOLO it out. But you shouldn't be putting other people's lives at risk. She shouldn't have been driving. Sorry, Caitlin. Good luck to you. Get a good attorney. Get somebody good to fight for you out there. What do you think should happen to this lady? What's the punishment we're doling, chat people, all right? Let us know what you think she should receive as a punishment for going to a house party on her delivery route and then getting a little too hammered. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we'll get into some of those momentarily here on the show, and we're going to talk about this Shannon Sharpe thing at some point in time. I saw a story, and this is grain of salt for right now. This is a grain of salt story. This story that's making the rounds says Elon Musk wants to leave U.S. politics because of the attacks, like relentless attacks that he's been getting online and off for working with Doge and working with President Trump. And his businesses have certainly suffered. Tesla shares have gone down quite a bit. I don't know about his other companies, but obviously being in any sort of political world, no matter where you're at on the spectrum, you're going to get people who dislike you because of that. Why? Well, one thing is you're putting yourself in the spotlight. The other thing is you're putting yourself in the line of fire for the very political people. And the very political people are crazy. So no matter what you do, those people are going to bring weird into your life. But I don't know if I believe this. I don't know if I believe that he's like, yeah, I'm ready to get out of this because, quote, he's tired of fielding what he views as a slew of nasty and unethical attacks from the political left. And they said they're not sure exactly what he's going to do, but he's reportedly going to be leaving politics. He can't take any more attacks.
Oh, see ya.
This kind of seems like cope. This kind of seems like cope from the people who are going after him. Like, we're getting a scalp soon. We're getting Elon.
Was there not a timeline, though, for Doge?
Yeah. There is not only a timeline, but the timeline is ticking fast. Not for Doge, necessarily. Doge can go on as long. But for Elon, because of the designation that he received, only allows you in each calendar year to be in the position for some number of days. And once you get to that number, you have to go away. And so the odds are that at the end of that rainbow, Elon's going to fade out. But Elon also very much likes attention. It seems to be something that he appreciates.
No, not with a chainsaw on stage.
And revels in. He really, really seems to like that. Arnott says Elon has way thicker skin than this. Well, you have to have pretty thick skin just to get involved in any of this stuff and to be on that level. I mean, to do anything in life, no matter what, and then have so many people comment on it, I don't think the average person understands what that's like. Like, seeing people just say all sorts of god-awful wrong things about you it's tough. It could be tough to see that stuff. Over the years, my skin has gotten pretty thick. I like to mess around with people, but my skin is pretty thick in terms of taking criticism and knowing when to look at things and not look at things. But on the highest of levels, it's just like a fire hose constantly coming at you with negativity, no matter what. It's just brutal. I want to share something with you before we get into dispatches and stuff. This is like a really bad 1-2 punch. Sky News, I guess, yesterday, right before the Pope died, they had just finished up a segment on how the Pope was doing better. And the Pope was looking good, and the Pope was like,
awkward,
sunny days. You know, the Pope was like, everything was looking up for Popester, and Francis was going to be making his big comeback. And then right after they go, thank you for that report. Well, by the way, news just coming in, the Pope has died. And it's just a weird, here they go, here's the 1-2 punch.
Obviously, with it being Easter, major holiday for the Christian community, and we know that Pope Francis has been recovering from a very severe bout of pneumonia, and he's been very poorly. His health has been really in question for quite a few months now, but it's great that he came out on the balcony yesterday at the Vatican, and he cheered, and he said, brothers and sisters, happy Easter. And of course, all the people who'd gone to see him, who'd made that pilgrimage, were just delighted to see that he was looking healthier. They said his voice sounded stronger.
Healthier. His voice sounded stronger. Things are going well for the Popester, as we say here on Sky News.
As he's recovering from his bout of double pneumonia.
Not everyone would want to meet J.D. Vance when they were recovering from pneumonia.
Yeah, I think
Really appreciate both coming with us this morning. Thank you so much. Some breaking news to bring you now. This is a statement from the Vatican. A short while ago, His Eminence Cardinal Farrell announced with sorrow the death of Pope Francis.
Like, hey, the Pope's doing great. Things are going good over here.
Whoever was in charge of that previous story worked real hard on it. And they had prepared it, and they put the B-roll and the narration and had it all ready to go. And that sucks.
Yeah, and then they go, wait, what's coming in? What break? No, ignore it. Ignore it. Just don't tell them that update. It makes us look silly. They couldn't have called this.
I saw over the weekend, there was an old video that was being passed around on social media. And I think it looked like Matt Lauer, but somebody was interviewing somebody about this book they had written, and it sounded kind of ridiculous. It was very nonsensical. I wish I could remember exactly what it was about. And then in the middle of this guy's sentence, like the news song played, like, boom, 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 and you could see a plane had just hit the World Trade Center. The switchover was very like, weird.
Some of those were bad. On 9/11, it would be like, get a scoop of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, and then you'd come back and you'd go right to the doom and gloom of the moment that just hit. It was crazy.
Cherry on top, though, was the man who, what was it, Master of Disguises?
Mm-hmm.
Found out on the set of Master of Disguises.
Yeah, in the turtle costume. Yeah, it's tough. The Popester, though, is missed by some, hated by others. I do like some of the greatest Pope moments for Francis.
I've been seeing a lot of that. It's very cute.
Did you see this one where another lady tried to kiss his hand? Popester did not like the kissing of the hand. There's a lady.
Wear gloves.
She grabs his hand.
That is not something you do. You don't yank the hand of the Pope. That's
also,
like,
zero security. He was all on his own.
They were out there on him. His security was there.
But the Pope was just interacting with this lady, and she grabs a hold of his hand, and she won't let go of his hand, and he starts hitting her hand. He starts... Bop, 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 bop. Hey! Pope didn't like it. Didn't want that kind of stuff going on. Be careful out there. And the next Pope is going to have to worry about this, too. What do you think? Let us know. Send us what we call a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now. And we'll get into some of those Pope choices before too long. Excuse me.
What?
Sorry.
Little burpee?
Yeah. I do have an update for you guys, though. And I know you've been just sitting there on the edge of your seats. You bought the whole seat. You only need the edge. I have an update on some information about why this mystery person cut down those trees with a chainsaw in downtown Los Angeles.
L.A.
What was the reasoning for doing this? Only one way to find out. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
Love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free.
Classic alternative this week.
Be warming up in a big way with afternoon highs nearing the 90-degree mark once again. We'll also be seeing a couple of clouds that will give way to a partly to mostly sunny sky. We are still quite dry. We need the rain, but as of right now, we don't have any substantial rain in that extended forecast. High temperatures will stay right around the upper 80s and low 90s into the weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Savings Plans. Did you know that by 2031, 72% of all jobs will require higher education? Now's the time to invest in your child's future. And the smartest way to save for college is with a Florida prepaid plan. Open enrollment is now, and plans start at $29 a month. Start today.
Friends, now's the time to act. You don't wait for hurricane season to begin. Don't wait for a named storm to be headed your way to start thinking about protecting your home. Now is the time to act. You want to protect your home with hurricane impact windows? You do that with our friends at Reese Windows and Doors. They are affordable. They are energy efficient. They come with a double lifetime warranty that transfers when you sell the house. That increases the value of your home, and it protects you and it protects your family. And these guys are the best experts. They've been installing windows all over the state of Florida for over 50 years, and most of the jobs can be done in just 6 to 8 weeks. What are you waiting for? Time to find out more. How do you do that? You text the word WOW to 20129. You're going to get your chance to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. So pick up your phone now and text the word WOW to 20129.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
When it comes to replacing your roof, father and son know best. That's why FAS Exteriors is Orlando's #1 window, door, and roof contractor. You can count on fair pricing, install perfection, and customer satisfaction every time. When it's time for roof replacement, see for yourself why customers in Orlando trust the leader in FAS Exteriors. Because father and son really do know what's best. Schedule your free consultation now at FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Road trip? Let's go! But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
It's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Recovery is possible. People overcome addiction every day. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop overdose.
If you ever need to talk, he'll pretend to listen. You're listening to the News Junkie.
Crowded person on a bicycle in the middle of the night use a chainsaw to cut down a bunch of trees in downtown Los Angeles. The answer in just a moment. One interesting thing that I like to spend my time doing is exploring all the weird extremist groups that exist out there. It's just a real blast.
That's
it's a true fun time. And then when people end up interacting with those groups, I'm like, oh no, you don't know what you're getting into. There's crazy people in that group, right? And in this case, I had no idea this group existed, but the story is pretty basic and pretty weird. It had a lot of people in Los Angeles going, what's happening? How do we stop this? And in fact, the folks in Los Angeles were united on one front here. Throw this guy, because we know it was a dude probably, in jail for a while. Throw him in jail for a couple of years so they could think about what they've done to these trees. Why is somebody anti-tree? The news was crazy all over the place talking about this. Here's CBS.
Up after trees were mysteriously hacked down in downtown L.A. by a man with a chainsaw on a bike. KCAL News reporter Rena Nakano spoke to community members who are devastated to see the greenery go.
All right, we heard from some of these folks previously. They're angry. Obviously, they are. There was a whole big thread online of all the people who were very, very upset that the trees were cut down by this mystery person. But are there any guesses before we get into this to Sabrina, C-Lane, chat, anybody else? Any guesses, the folks who are on chat watching us live included in this,
on why this person may have done this?
Why?
Any guesses? What movement they might be a part of?
I mean, off the bat, I don't have time to think. Some sort of protest against climate change.
Okay. Climate change protest. These climate change people do all sorts of stuff. So who the hell knows? Maybe this is some sort of climate change thing.
Anti-climate change, because I feel like trees are probably helpful in helping with climate. Yeah.
Could be that. What do you think, Sealand?
Didn't the trees, like a lot of the times when they were, did they end up landing in the road, or were they mostly in sidewalks?
Some of them landed on the sidewalk. Some of them did land on the road, blocking some of the lanes when they cut these down.
All right, they're trying to disrupt electric and possibly driverless cars.
All right, that's interesting. Stopping the automated vehicles. People are saying
neither of us are right.
There's some sick effing people going around. He's a still representative, like the chainsaw company. I blame PETA. He was searching for Groot. There's a lot of guesses coming in. Here is what allegedly could have been behind this. I was not familiar with the anti-fig movement, but there's an anti-fig movement out there.
These are fig trees?
These are fig trees. All of them, every single one of them, what was called a laurel fig tree. And the trees, these fig trees, are no longer planted in the area because they're considered invasive and they often crack the sidewalks nearby. And so the person was an anti-fig person and was like going around.
Yeah.
Pro-sidewalk, anti-fig
guy.
Yeah. And they eventually were like, no, hell no, I ain't going to take it anymore. And they grabbed their chainsaw and their bicycle, because of course they're a cyclist. Sorry, cyclists. And they moved down the street.
Cracks in sidewalks.
True. Very true. Even though they're not supposed to be on the sidewalk. They hate these things. They went out in the dark of night on these side streets and they targeted all of these laurel fig trees. And they said, we don't want them here anymore.
I would have never guessed that.
No, Stephanie Carey's an amateur arborist, though, that runs the Trees of LA Instagram account.
Amateur arborist runs an entire group. That's interesting.
She runs this account on Instagram at Trees of LA. She says, these are parts of our infrastructure that are doing massive amounts of work that have an invaluable health benefit to the residents. And the suspect could have been specifically targeting the laurel fig species of tree. They're no longer planted in the area because they're invasive. They're incredible trees for their environment, but they are ones that have those really invasive roots that end up getting into the infrastructure.
Now, is an amateur arborist cheaper than a normal one? Because it could be pretty expensive to get your trees cut down.
Like, yes, because they need to build up the resume.
Yeah, possibly. They were angry about the trees, though, potentially. I didn't even know this. There's so many radical groups out there.
How do they keep up?
I don't know which one to join. And I'm looking. Anti-fig
you want to start
people,
your own, please.
I'm not against trees, though. I'm a pro-tree guy. I can't join this movement. I like trees. I like shade.
Recently acquired from a wonderful neighbor a loquat.
Okay.
And she gave it to me in the bucket. I feel like it's in a certain stage that I already forgot what it's called.
Like a kumquat?
But lower.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
And it's in the stage in which I'm supposed to care for it in this bucket, but then make sure to plant it in time so it can become a giant loquat.
Oh, wait till the neighbor's here, though. And then whoever's anti-loquat in your neighborhood with a chainsaw out there.
Well, then you can meet me with my Second Amendment right. Get your hands off my tree.
Now we got a shootout going on. It's going to be wild. What do you think about this? Let us know. What should the punishment be for the tree chopper? People online are like, death to the tree chopper. Somebody said they have no idea, and this was a real sentence. They have no idea how serious tree law is. And it's new to me, but I guess you don't want to end up on the wrong side of tree law.
You got to get a tree lawyer.
Yeah, you do.
Tree law.
So now we know what's going on there, and we got to keep an eye on that. Let's get to a couple of you. We got time for just a few dispatches, working them in the first hour of the show. Let's see what we got here. Here's Alfonso joins us. Our friend Alfonso is talking about the mailman, mail lady, mail person. She got an invite to a party on her mail route, had a couple too many maybe, and then ended up getting the DUI in the USPS vehicle.
And the very political... Hey, guys.
That was me.
This is the mailman.
Hi.
Yeah, I feel bad for the lady.
Okay.
She's probably going to have to go to EAP, which is, help
EAP.
for the employee. Hopefully, she doesn't have many years to go, where she could just retire.
He said EAP. She's going to have to go on EAP. I'm imagining it's employee
assistance program.
Employee assistance program. So they put her on leave basically, and she gets investigated and stuff. And
it's a resource for postal employees and their family members to help them with on-the-job, personal or family stuff.
Yeah, well, she's got some stuff, that's for sure. One more. Here's Bethy Baby. Hello.
Or a people.
Oh.
But a couple of weekends ago.
All right, not good quality. Sorry, Bethy Baby. One more. Here's Crispy Bacon.
Afternoon, News Junkies.
Hey.
Hey, Sean, I may have known somebody that wasn't a THC, but it was either that Delta 8 or Delta 9. And
one of the Deltas.
It's a syrup, concentrated syrup. You mix it in your favorite beverage, and it's a different kind of, it's not a drunk or buzz. It's more it is more like a high that you would get from marijuana.
Yeah, of course. It's it.
From what I've been told, but a lot better than going out drinking. You don't get that sluggish or that bloated feeling that you get when you go out drinking.
That's the nice.
How many seltzers did you have before the dispatch?
He's a little hammered right now, but all it is proof that they work. That's what we're seeing right here. All it is proof that they work. I'm gonna do the unthinkable. I'm gonna glance at the markets. Okay, all right.
You haven't said that phrase in a couple days.
It's been bad. Yesterday was almost 1,000 points down, but right now it's 800 points up. So it's a roller coaster, and overall it just hasn't been good. I want to see better, and I know everybody's like, you got to hold on. It's going to be about long-term investing. It's like, I don't know. I want more steady. I want a little more steady. I like that. Maybe you don't, but I'm a fan of things that are a little more predictable. Although I do think right now you could still get some deals out there, including that iHeart stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Company man.
Buy our daddy stock.
I don't own any now.
I still do.
Do you?
And I'm going to stick to it because it's in the
might as well. Yeah, might as well. But it's going to go back up. It'll go back
definitely
up.
will.
I'm sure. Thumbs up. Absolutely going to go back up. We are not financial professionals. Do not take our advice as such. Thank you for being patient.
Oh, they could hear a voice that's so scared.
When we come back, we will keep an eye on many, many things. One is a situation that is unfolding over in, I believe, the Tampa, Florida area. And this is a video that has almost everybody who sees it going, what on earth is happening here? And why isn't the person involved in jail right now? Like, grab them by the arm or the tuft of the neck, as they say, and drag this person all the way into the nearest prison and keep them there for a while. What happened? That is coming up in just a bit on the show. Also, Chipotle fans, hardest hit. Man, they are really putting you through it over there. What is the major change that they just announced that's going to impact you if that's where you go to try to get yourself something to eat? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road at 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber. HOA and condo board members. Fiber internet has never been easier. Blue Stream Fiber simplifies the switch, helping your community save up to 50% while keeping residents happy. Their step-by-step process makes upgrading hassle-free. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now, you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia, we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new...
Go, Mike. Hello, Skull Mike Squad.
Excuse me. Question. Have you seen the video of the guy who tackled the 11-year-old girl? This guy in the Tampa St. Pete area tackles this young girl, and she starts screaming, and it's in like an apartment complex type area, and everybody starts filming because there's a girl screaming at the top of her lungs as this guy's on top of her. The whole thing is just absolutely insane, and some of the details around it are very, very interesting. If you've seen it, you'll be ahead of things. If not, it'll be coming up in just a bit on the show. We also got the next episode coming up. We tomorrow on the show have Fritz, I believe, for Fritz on the Street. Though some of you may have seen Fritz's message recently, which is incredibly tough to read and very frustrating. And I can't imagine the level of frustration that our friend Fritz is going through. But such is life. In radio, at least. So we'll see what's going on with him, I guess, tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, any more than that, just, you can see what he has posted online about this, and what the future holds is a whole bunch of question marks right now, unfortunately. Bootsy says, we love Fritz. Yeah, who doesn't? Fritz is the best. Love me some Fritz. Just not great news in his world, unfortunately. Angela says, what happened to Fritz? I would point you at this point to his social media posts. And, yeah. And maybe he wants to address it. I don't even know. Maybe he doesn't want to address it, honestly. I mean, the only reason I'm saying anything about it now is because he publicly has posted about this and the situation that he's facing. But we love Fritz. Nicole says, how can iHeart stock be so low? Everything has just been rocked down to a pretty low level. With iHeart, I mean, I'm not right now invested in iHeart, so grain of salt it. But with iHeart at $1, I think there's no way in my mind that doesn't eventually hit $2 again. Will it hit 20? I have no idea. Could it plummet? Yeah. But there's a decent shot that when everything rallies back again, that's a stock where you could double some pile of money. You know what I mean? It's risky, very, very risky, but that's a stock that was just going over $2 before these changes and losses started piling up. All right, we're coming back.
Air.com. Here's another success story by the Nickley Group. Jerry's home had been in the market for over 6 months, listed with another agent. Jerry, now a retired man, was ready to move closer to his daughter and newborn twins. Jerry needed to sell quickly, so he thought about Nickley. Jerry listed his home on the market with a local expert from the Nickley Group, got his home under contract in 16 days for a lot more than he expected, and with the right terms for a seamless transition. Ready to make a move? Visit thenickley.com. Local experts doing real estate differently.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
Seen in 2025, people are wilding out there, and we'll get into this. You'll hear some of it. Brace yourself in just a moment here on the show. Join us with your dispatches. Send yours right now, video or audio dispatches. Send it with a click of a button over at thenewsjunkie.com. This is a guy in Florida who, I don't know. Does he get arrested is the big question. Like, it seems like he would be arrested. But it's a guy out of Tampa, Florida, who is on video. He's 43 years old, and his name is Marius Mutu, if you guys want to follow along. Marius Mutu, the 43-year-old. And he was videotaped on this 11-year-old girl in what looked like a common area in an apartment building. All right, that's how you could picture this. It's like a place in an apartment building where other apartments are like looking down on him, and people started to hear screaming. And so it got their attention, obviously, some young woman screaming, and people said, well, what the hell's happening here?
What's the hubbub?
The cameras start recording from all over, and you see a man pinning an 11-year-old girl down, and you hear this.
Oh my God.
How about that look? All right. He is over the top of her.
Pinning her down, and he's got his phone in his hand. Now, the man says she did something, or I suspected her of doing something, and I was trying to hold her down forcibly to take a picture of her face. You don't do that.
And
wow.
This is just the dumbest, worst idea. Even if she broke the window of your house.
You don't pin down a child you do not know. And then you hear that.
You call the cops. You call the cops if somebody does this. You don't get involved with this young girl who's a kid. And she says she didn't have anything to do with this. But the guy has got her pinned on the ground. And I would say, imagine before this, she did something horrible to you. You still have to think about optics. Like, what are all your neighbors going to think when they see you over her, hunching her? Because that's what's happening here. And trying to... Her? No, hunching is what I'm saying. Like, because he's physically behind her, right? In a very inappropriate way.
Get off of her!
Also, what do you do there? If I hear "help me" from an 11-year-old at the top of her lungs, I'm not even really going to check what's up. I might just cross-check this dude.
But if it wasn't for this video, then what? Whose word against whose? I guess if this lady was a witness, I certainly would be down there stopping whatever the hell is going on.
It's scary.
That's such an insane move on his part.
It's scary because you run up to him. You don't know if he has a gun or something. And then right now people just kill people with the drop of a hat. But we got a full-grown man over an 11-year-old, and she is screaming bloody murder at the top of her lungs. And I'll give you more details on what went down here in just a second, but you could see why it got the neighbor's attention. All right, you get it. She said, I wasn't doing anything. I swear to God. Now, let's look at the story to get some details around this. Florida man accused of attacking an 11-year-old girl. Not a good headline for you if you're him. A Tampa man is accused of attacking an 11-year-old girl in the Allison Park Place neighborhood in Tampa on Saturday at around 12:05. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office responded to reports about a man assaulting a child. Yeah, I'd probably call the cops with that too. You have to. You can't ever go, well, we don't know what they're getting into. We don't know the full story.
No grown man should be on a child like that.
I think better safe than sorry calling the cops and saying that you need to look at this dude. You need to figure out what's happening here. Help me. I wasn't doing anything. I swear to God, she said. Man is in a green hoodie and seen running to pull the man off the little girl.
Hey, get your hands off of her, the man in the green hoodie said. When deputies spoke with the suspect, all right, here we go. Now we're going in. Identified as Marius Mutu, he explained somebody had been throwing eggs at his apartment for the past week. So when it happened on Saturday, he assumed it was a little girl that was walking nearby. They said it led to the man chasing the girl, forcing her down to the ground and restraining her until other adults stepped in. He told officers he was attempting to take a photo of the child to report the incident to apartment management. They took him into custody at the scene. The sheriff says this type of behavior is not only unacceptable, it's reprehensible. The safety of our children is non-negotiable. Now, even if you took him at his word, if you think somebody's egging your house, some kid, and then you see a young kid that is nearby that's your number one suspect, is your Instacop, are you allowed to detain a child?
No. You're not allowed to detain an adult for that.
I wouldn't think so. It's not the commission of a felony, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't have the authority, even if you think like there was a crime being perpetrated on me. Now, if somebody commits a felony on you or around you even, I think you can possibly do something like this.
You're in danger.
If you thought you were in danger.
Your life or the lives around you.
Yeah, but any jury going to believe, Sabrina, that somebody's in danger when they're a grown man chasing down an 11-year-old?
And especially when you see that video.
He's also been on the record now saying that the reason he was doing this was for what he thought was her egging his house.
Yeah.
So you don't have any
Welcome to the
argument.
show, Welcome to the show. I mentioned that.
No,
I know it was mentioned, asshole.
Okay, all right. Okay, he's coming at me now.
Your house is about to get egged.
It sounded like you missed me just saying that on the show.
I was making the point to say that he doesn't really have an argument to, now that he's already said this and he's already on record saying it, he can't switch back and go that he thinks he was in any sort of danger.
Right.
No.
And here's the crazy part. She was just egging his house. Or at least that's what he thought.
All right.
Don't start it up again.
Listen, when
It's
I
bad.
do it, you guys both do it, and then
The rare
Sean
sea
does
light
it.
angry.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Sea light.
That's strike one, Sean. Watch it.
It sounded like something that's happened on the show before, which you were doing some prep and like looking up the story, and then you just popping in afterwards with something that I had just said before that.
I understand that that's what it sounded like.
Okay, so I'll
Based
take your
on your
apology
reaction.
now. I will take your apology
I'm good.
now. I will. I am waiting for your apology. I will
Mom,
run over
Dad?
there, pin you down, and get a selfie of your face.
That's going to take you 20 minutes.
I'm sorry you interrupted me before I could finish my thought.
Yeah, that's what he said. He did say that they thought there was some egging going on. Egging, best all of us know, not a felony, not something that you could get out there.
Barely a crime. Like toilet papering?
Yeah.
I don't even think you'd get arrested for that.
I get how it might be frustrating or that would be obnoxious, but my guy, like, this is a really terrible look. If you find yourself crouching over and holding down an 11-year-old child who's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Screaming help.
Yeah, bloody murder.
What else has he done?
That's
just and if it
it's a short
wasn't this instance that he was arrested and stopped, I mean, was he even stopped at some point, or when the cops finally showed up, he removed himself from on top of this girl?
Somebody in a green hoodie, if you were listening to the show, you would have heard this, stopped him at some point and knocked him off the 11-year-old.
Okay, now it's going to be 2 against 1 if you don't. Cut it.
I'm fighting everybody today.
There's no need to fight. There's a bunch of things going on. You
So
can't
what do
even
you think?
Google and talk at the same time.
What, and now, what is the crime that Marius Mutu, the man who did this, what is the crime that he committed? Is it like
false imprisonment? It looked like he was attempting Assault, for sure.
Assault. Yeah, he's pushing her down physically over the top of her battery, maybe.
There might be a possibility for elevated charges if because it's a minor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What a
any number
creep.
of these things.
Yeah, it could be.
You made it
If
weird,
you were-
Sean. Thanks.
If you were listening to the show, Celine, you would already know that I told you the sheriff said it was unacceptable. So obviously the crimes will be significant that he's charged with.
I'm not listening to this show.
And reprehensible.
Especially this one.
He also said the safety of children is non-negotiable, just so everybody knows.
I mean, there's some kids out there.
And why do I even bother talking into this thing?
Oh,
if it's
please.
just going to go
talk
this
into
way?
your little skeleton mic. They'll
I will.
answer you back.
They love me. They listen to me over there. Thank God. All right, we kind of got through that, didn't we? We
I would
learned
say
some things.
It's 6 out of 10.
Anybody on the side of the guy? Anybody on that
I can't
guy's side?
imagine anybody being on the side of this guy.
Yeah, but then again, there's somebody. Let's go
There's
to the
always.
comments. I mean, think about the Captain...
Mm-hmm.
What's his face?
Boat captain guy. Yeah, the
Brody,
boat captain
Brock
guy.
or something.
It took a little while for Brock to have some supporters, but he did. After a while, there was people in the comments sections going, well, the kid learned a lesson. Don't mess around with people and don't write a check. This is what my uncle used to say. Don't write a check with your mouth that your ass can't cash.
Is that the gay uncle?
No.
Okay.
No.
Be hilarious if it was.
It wasn't my gunkle. It wasn't my gunkle, no.
I'm just saying it works.
Gunkle sounds like your dad's brother who really loves the Second Amendment.
He does, though, strangely enough. Yeah, it all works together.
Gay people have guns.
The 11-year-old girl, we don't know where she is now, but if I was her parents and I was watching this video, I would want this man to spend some time behind bars.
Yeah.
I just
Stay away
think
from children.
Stay away from kids, not tackle people like this. Stop thinking
I don't
like
want to go egg his house.
You're the enforcer here. And again, I'm not saying like if some of you are like, oh, play stupid games, win stupid prizes with an 11-year-old. I will tell you that. I'm not saying it wouldn't be annoying or obnoxious or actually wrong for somebody to be egging his house over and over. Just saying you also have to be smart. You can't be doing this. I've said before on this show, like I'll punch an 11-year-old. If there's a circumstance where a group of 11-year-olds surrounds me and starts hitting me, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, they're not 18. I can't fight back. I will punch one of them if I have to. But am I going to chase down an 11-year-old and forcibly hold them on the ground, try to take a picture of their face? Weird, dude.
Very weird.
That's a weird move.
What he's thinking in the moment because he's all mad about the stupid eggs, but what is the outcome for him of getting a picture of this girl's face?
Post it online or something?
Justice?
Yeah. Question mark.
Weird.
I don't know. That's an amazing phenomenon that we see routinely on this show, C-Lane. And I know that he didn't post this footage, but I wouldn't be surprised if he would have if nobody else filmed it. Because people do that. They have encounters where they don't look good, and then they post them online.
Say there was no good Samaritans in the area. There was nobody filming from up top and no green hooded sweatshirt guy coming to stop what was going on. And he posted this selfie that he got of her while he was on top of her holding her down and going, this is the girl that's egging our houses. You think the comment section is going to be very on his side?
I don't think a single guy with a daughter around that age is going to be feeling for him. Nope. I think that if he got a whooping for it, there will be a lot of people that were in support of that, just from the audio alone. But let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch. All you have to do is maneuver your way over to the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. And we'll hear from you with your comments as they roll in. You can also email the show at any point in time. You can email tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And if you want to be anonymous, just put that up on top of the email. We'll make sure you stay anonymous. We've got more to get to as the show rolls on today. So we hope to hear from not only you, but other folks. I wanted to talk about this Chipotle thing. I'm going to kick that can a little bit down the road. We will talk about that soon, though. Because especially if you're a fast casual
talk about it now.
eater.
I need to order lunch, man.
Sorry.
You want eggs?
Do you order Chipotle? Are you a Chipotle fan?
Once in a while, yeah.
It's so expensive, man.
It's hard.
It's pricey.
And last time I ordered it, I think I told you guys I got that limited time brisket thing they were doing, and it was the spiciest thing I had from a fast food restaurant, I think, ever.
Really? Well, we'll hear about that as the show rolls on as well. So join us, as I said. Send a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com.
Jeff says, where does an 11-year-old get the money to buy eggs these days?
True.
Not a bad take.
Breakfast is going to suck the next day, but I guess it's better than having a grown man on top of you.
If a kid is repeatedly egging this guy's house, it couldn't have just started from nowhere. There's no way that it's just randomly, this guy... Let's just throw eggs at his house. There must have been something.
Very, very eggable.
Yeah, something has to start it. It's like all these circumstances where you see a video where somebody does something and freaks out, and you go, yeah, well, why was it clipped like that? What happened before that? Why did the teacher lose their mind?
We talked yesterday about the congresswoman inside of the Ulta.
Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace.
Yeah. And I saw his point of view. It was just his legs, but it was literally right before her video started.
Okay.
And that is where she clipped off, and he really did just say, when are you going to host the next town hall?
Okay.
And then the F-bomb started to fly.
Okay. So
And
there was nothing else?
That was one in which I could say, oh, here is the blessing of I believe, the full interaction.
Yeah.
And it was
if there was more,
what he said.
If there was more or something that she was reacting to, I would think that she would have said it by now. I have seen, by the way, people on the right online posting this and being like, why would she post this online?
Yeah.
This was a dumb look for you. What the hell? But, you're always holding the line 24/7, 365.
Yeah, but
I
you
guess.
comment on those people like, oh, look, someone's going to the left.
Oh, man.
Look at that. No.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
No, let's keep this going.
When we come back, more fighting. And also, we'll get into the Shannon Sharpe thing in about an hour or so. We got the next episode on the way and so much more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, we'll talk about safe play and how it affects kids that play sports. At 4, we'll do What You Do That's New. For trivia, it's Orlando City tickets and Tijuana Flats gift cards. And we'll end it up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
The Jim Colbert Show presents their Boozy Brunch, and it's about to get wild. Join Jim and Jack on May 4th for a Sunday fun day you won't forget at Osprey Restaurant. We're talking pastries, raw bar, brunch, beverages from the bar, and burlesque featuring the seductive sass of corsets and cuties. Food, feathers, fringe, and prizes, because they all will be playing feisty trivia. It's all going down at Osprey Restaurant Sunday, May 4th at 11 a.m. sharp. Seats are limited, and this brunch will sell out. So grab your crew and get ready to sip, snack, and get saucy with the Jim Colbert Show's Boozy Brunch. Get tickets now at realradio.fm/brunch.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy.
This is Today.
And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
When things are tough, we talk about it. When there's something to figure out, we dig into it. And when there's joy, we celebrate it.
Because today is where it's all happening. We get the best start to every morning because we started together.
Watch The Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Hush, little baby, yes you can. Mama's gonna buy you a prepaid plan. And with that Florida prepaid plan, Mama's gonna send you to...
School Mike Squad. They make fun of us, but I know you love me. You really love me. They love me. They really love me. Folks, hope you're doing okay on a Tuesday. Don't forget, share the show Tuesday. Hit the like button on that stream. Like. Subscribe if you haven't. Some of you come to the stream every single day to watch us on YouTube and don't just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you any money. Get the alerts and stuff when we go live, so it's nice and convenient for you. Also, make the station and the podcast your presets on the iHeartRadio app. 2 minutes. Yucker says, Sean's legs are so white they eat fried rice for dinner. How dare you, number one. Number two, my pool season is upon me, I think. I'm going to make sure the pool is in the zone, numbers-wise. And then I think after the show, but before I do my video editing, I'm going to hit the pool each day. So, Tan Sean incoming, friends. It's going to get sexy. Papa Shroom says, does Sean's shirt say gay man? Yes, it says gay man. This is from the Gay Man Festival that I went to a couple of years back, which is a gay pride event of sorts where there's a competition. It's a bear-off, and in the bear-off is like different types of feats of strength, and the gayest, strongest man wins. And so, yeah, I've been a part of that for years. Don't forget, if you want to get updates for the podcast being posted, that is every day on Twitter, at The News Junkie on Twitter, if you want to get those alerts. Okay, here we go, everybody. Tom says Sean is not a bear. Tom. Hey, Tom. Fuck you.
And Fox Sports lead college football reporter Jenny Tapp.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night Live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Like a car crash you can't stop listening to. This is the news.
Viral stories of the day. Learn more and hang out with us each day. We'll keep you company and go through all the fun viral news and the weird stuff and the serious stuff and everything in between.
And you can subscribe to the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. I'm looking at the potential popes, and I got to tell you,
we're in for a treat.
I have a theory who's going to win. I just
why are you saying that?
When I look at the options for the top potential popes, one of the popes looks a lot more like previous popes, and I'm like, I wonder if they'll give it to that guy.
Is that a pizza balla?
That is Pietro Parolin.
Oh no,
Cardinal Pietro Parolin is the only white dude amongst some of the top candidates here. And there's
still
two
candidates?
Yeah, well, everybody's a candidate right now because they have to kind of get out there and campaign to be the next pope.
Is it a campaign? I thought all the cardinals just get together and then they kind of talk about it. And but is it really like they're not smearing each other? Like,
well, they got to make sure there's people that they think can
Pizza Balla
do the job.
wants gays to marry.
Have you heard what Pizza Balla said? They're like running campaigns against each other. That would be fantastic.
Oh my God, we're gonna have some ads.
Yeah, you know what they're not allowed to do? Here's the crazy thing: the moment the Pope pick starts, beyond the not sex thing, they all have to ditch their phones. They cannot go online. They cannot take any phone calls. They have to completely deplug themselves or unplug themselves from all things except for this.
Oh, yeah.
And they focus solely on this until the voting is done and the black smoke goes out the
who's
chimney.
Super happy that, well, happy is a weird word, but it's working out for them that the Pope just died.
Who?
The makers of Conclave, because that has skyrocketed in views. But it has been said that it is a very accurate depiction of how this whole thing works.
I was going to say it would be a good time to watch it if you're curious on how the process goes.
Yeah,
and
or if you want a nap.
It's hard to keep you energized watching Conclave, but I did think it was a good movie. And when we talked about it when I first watched it, I remember telling you guys about there was a scene where they were trying to keep people from hearing inside the place where they were doing the voting. And that like the worries are like, because this is such an old process. Now that there's so much new technology, they're like, somebody's watching the vibrations of the windows and turning them into audio waves. And you're just like, what? Is that a real thing?
That's a weird meeting of old versus new right there, like a clash of different, worlds.
Ooh,
but
we should ask ChatGPT which one should be the next pope.
Well, among the top picks are 2 potential black popes and an Asian pope, and then old-fashioned white pope. And they have Cardinal Peter Codwo Apaya Turkson. He is one of the potential popes. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Cardinal Luis Antonio Gokim, that's the Asian dude, and then Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Besungu. Those are some of the names floated out so far, which I'm just going to go out on a limb, but I would say first, if you had an Asian pope or a black pope, they'd both be the first of their kind, right? There's no way there was a black pope before this. I wouldn't think. I would think that this would be a big sea change there. And I know I still see the people online.
Would there have been an African pope, but maybe just not black in skin?
You could check. I would guess no.
Because
I would guess
Francis was the first from the Americas.
Yeah, and there's been popes from like Argentina. Well, he was from Argentina, wasn't he? Wasn't Francis? Yeah. And so there's been some popes from different places. You had Ratzi from Germany.
Ratzi the Nazi.
And you had a lot of these other popes that had more traditional backgrounds, as you might expect.
It's Peter Turkson of Ghana.
Yeah.
Would mark a historic moment as the first African pope in centuries. The most recent African pontiff was Pope Gelasius, who served from the most recent was from 492 to 496 AD.
They had an old school black pope, or they're saying African? Now
it just says African.
Yeah, that's
but it says
generic.
From blackcatholicmessenger.org, it says the 3 African popes who were very possibly black.
Yeah, they don't even know. Well, and then a lot of people hear this and be like, they're from Africa. You don't know anything about the continent of Africa. The northeastern corner of Africa, a big giant chunk of it is not people that you would call black at all by any shape of the imagination. But it would be interesting if there was a big switch up here. A lot of people keep going with like, we just don't want that woke pope again. And I thought to myself a little bit the other day, and I go, I can't help but think that if Jesus were around, he would probably be on some of the woke front stuff.
I mean, what's the
Jesus,
woke
that's what he
stuff
did.
that he did?
Well, it depends. I mean, I don't want to get into the battle of what woke means because mostly it's just a bunch of annoying stuff. But on the better side of it, stuff that you might call woke, that like the Pope Francis stuff did, I feel like Jesus might be doing that. He was washing the feet of the prostitutes and doing all kinds of things. You might be like, whoa, she's a whore.
Oh, he wouldn't let anyone kiss his hand, so I don't know if he's going to wash anyone's feet.
Yeah, but the kissing the hands thing was he didn't want to be above them. Like, you know, when you kiss somebody's hand when you're like bowing down to them, he didn't like that. He didn't like that to be like your dynamic, like you're worshiping him, because you're not supposed to worship the Pope, you're supposed to worship God. But Francis did fight for decriminalization of homosexuality across the world. He didn't necessarily you know say that the Catholic Church was going to start marrying gay couples, but he was saying like, hey,
he allowed them to bless gay couples.
Right.
Not marry them under the church, which...
Well, he's certainly moved in a less traditional direction than many of the previous popes.
And also, I feel like it had a lot to do with the diminishing numbers of new Catholic people. They're like, hey, man, you gotta get some folks under the steeple.
Oh, but a lot of that is just because in the Western world in general, people are less religious. They're less religious than they were previously. And of the people who are religious, many of them are not super interested in organized religion as of now. And if I had to guess, especially people under the age of like 54, 55 years old, a lot of those people, they're not the type to get involved in this stuff. They have their own like personal faith and they don't tune into these things. But maybe new Pope, like new Coke, can make a splash on the scene and bring some more folks into the fray.
If I were new Pope, I wouldn't want you to compare me to new Coke because that was a disaster.
All right, Pope Clear, right? Pope Clear.
Pope Classic.
Pope Classic. This guy is going to come out and really shock the world. Papa Shroom says, I met Pope John Paul way back in the 80s. Is there any way somebody named Papa Shroom met the Pope? Could be. Was there for Christmas Mass. Fun times, big party. The Pope was down with a flock of seagulls. No shot. There's no way the Pope like a flock of seagulls. I can't see it happening. I don't ever picture the Pope rocking out to modern day music. Like just sitting there in the Pope mobile.
I would like to hear some Dead Mouse.
Yeah, when he says I would like to hear you sing, he doesn't generally mean a new banger. He usually means like, I want some classic music. To hear you sing. He was barely alive there. You know, the last gasp.
That was like 5 years ago.
To hear you singing.
This is like his airway closing already at that point. Okay, we want you to join us on the show, and a lot of you have. You want to talk about the weirdo who tackled the 11-year-old girl? So be it. Here's Dumpin' Dumpsters.
Yeah, so about that guy that's holding that 11-year-old down, I read somewhere that she was actually egging his house.
No, I hadn't heard of that.
Did you guys hear about that?
No.
And then some guy came along.
No, you got to listen.
Covered this part.
He thought she was egging his house.
True.
A guy in a green sweatshirt came along and got the guy off. Thank God for that guy, huh? I don't know if you guys covered that part of it or not.
He laughed at himself.
Pleased. So pleased.
Congratulations. Send. Hits the send button. Thank you. I got a question about dispatches after the show yesterday. It just confused me so bad. Let me see if I can dig this up. Maybe you guys could tell me what this person was talking about. I thought it was okay.
Somebody was asking about the process?
Somebody said, I'm new to the show. I want to ask about dispatch etiquette. And that's fine. The basic rules, just in case you are new to the show, like this person, Scott, are please listen back to your dispatch. The website provides the functionality to listen back. Make sure it sounds good. If it doesn't sound good, record a video dispatch so you come in clearer. That will usually give you a better audio track, which is obviously optimal because 99% of the people listening to us right now are on the radio side of things. Make sure you're not cursing. Try to keep it short. Between 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds or so at the longest. If you really got something to get in, maybe a minute tops. If you got a banger story,
get to the nuts real quick. You know,
get to the point.
No huge, long-winded intro.
but I didn't know what to make of this.
Okay.
Scott said, dispatch etiquette. Hi, Sean. Are video dispatches showing minors with their father allowed? And
One
I
more
don't
time?
know what he's talking about. Are video dispatches showing minors with their father allowed? Said Scott. Yeah. Like a lot of times people say hi with their kids and stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Like,
or are you in a bush filming a father with his kid?
I would assume that he's like, hey, can my kids say hello? And
of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We can be kid friendly. We know, and we get the hint when a kid's around. Although I always have to watch myself.
If you're going to show a minor, be the parent of that minor, I would hope.
That would be nice. Yeah. I do have to watch myself. When C-Lane had Jackson at the bowling tournament, 5 seconds into seeing Jackson, I'm like, oh, he's effing adorable. And hit the brakes. He's starting to repeat things, Sean.
It's so funny because we have trained ourselves to not curse while we're on the air, but it's in front of children that I just let. It just goes away. Any sort of censorship of myself.
Yeah, I think about it. And every time I see a curse word, I'm like, God, I don't want to be that guy. I'm trying to not do that.
They're going to curse eventually.
It's going to be a weird transition, I think, for me. Because I still let some words fly around him.
But now he's repeating stuff.
Starting to, yeah.
So that gets into tough territory.
Unless you really want him to say something, and then... Yeah.
That's cute.
Quick break. When we come back, C-Lane's been repeating the C word in front of him nonstop.
Oh my gosh, that's his first full sentence. Love it.
When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
I just said the C word over and over again in my head. What's coming up on the next episode? Beep, beep. Next year is the 98th Annual Academy Awards, and according to recent headlines, the Academy is implementing a new rule that everyone else assumed was a rule the entire time. The Tiger King has a new male queen, the sixth to be exact. No word yet from that bitch Carol Baskin. Plus, let's talk about Kanye and his latest scoopity. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be seeing another day with hot temperatures. Afternoon highs will be climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. So once again, several degrees above normal. We still need the rain. We do have burn bans in place for much of Central Florida, including Orange County. We look to stay dry and hot all the way into the weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Yeah. Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
Visit Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa today to sign up for Unity by Hard Rock, the global loyalty program unlike any other, designed to reward you for doing what you love. New members receive a limited edition Seminole Hard Rock Tampa t-shirt and can play up to $200 on us. Slots, tables, stays, dining. Get rewarded for your experience. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Your oasis awaits at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Spring is here, the perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Experience the Janney difference and save up to $2,000 this season. Join a community of thousands of happy homeowners.
To go ahead and do it right the first time so that you don't have to hire another company to fix what the company should have done right. And I feel like that's Janney.
Let's go, Mike. The next episode coming up in a bit, then we'll talk about this Shannon Sharpe lawsuit, which is juicy, big drama. We'll poke our nose into that and see what we're learning on both sides. People dropping all sorts of like text messages and voicemail receipts, and so we can go in a little bit on that and see what kind of drama we could stir up. Papa Shrimp says, I did meet the Pope. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? I'm not even a religious person, and I think that meeting a Pope would be cool. Seems like a big deal. I don't revere the Pope. I don't care much about that kind of stuff, but it's like, I mean, to meet the leader of, meet the king. Meet the king would be cool. King of England. Shake them big old sausage fingers. Sabrina had a hot mic moment there, but I didn't hear what she said. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, would you rather meet Trump or the Pope? Am I interviewing the person? Am I hanging out with, like, what's the context? Because if I'm for real, interviewing the Pope seems boring. Interviewing Trump has been done so many times, but I think I might be able to get into like a fun fight with Trump over something not political. Like just like getting really deep down into the weeds on a Hannibal Lecter thing or something. There's something I could do there that would be fun, that we can meme it up. Trump might meme it up with me. I would dig that. More than the Pope. Meeting the Pope is like meeting the Dalai Lama? I don't want to meet that tongue-sucking Dalai Lama. That dude is weird. A lot of people like to really excuse weird behavior with its culture afterwards. No. If an adult man wants to suck the tongue of a child, that is every bit as weird as when a radical rabbi wants to perform a circumcision with his mouth. Very wrong. No thank you, Dalai Lama. Nothing against his supporters or anything, but no thank you on the Dalai Lama. We're coming back.
Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Because you're never too old to learn something stupid. This is the News Junkie.
The next episode in just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Over on chat during the breaks, you get skull mic action sometimes where I talk to you through the break, and you can tune into that on YouTube or twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. And they were saying, would you rather meet the Pope, Trump, or the Dalai Lama? And I'm a hard pass on that Dalai Lama meetup. I'm
Just
not.
give it a little kiss, the tongue.
That tongue-sucking dude is, I don't know. That's a big, giant no for me if we're doing an F, marry, kill. I'm sorry, Dalai Lama. Rip, buddy. Rip it is. Okay, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Ding, dong, 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 5 seconds to cross the road.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey.
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Dawn. ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com. That's where you start the process of refinancing that beautiful home you own. Perhaps you're looking to buy a beautiful home, the dream home, or start a business. Reverse mortgages, HELOCs, and everything in between. Most importantly, you're just working with someone who's looking out for you, and that's That Mortgage Guy Dawn. Any question you have direct access to the man himself, so check out the website today, ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com.
15 years ago, 2010, the lead singer of this group right here, also take his name.
Motley Crue. Vince Neil. Poison. Bret Michaels.
Bret Michaels is right. I am going to give 2 points to C-Lane. And it was on this day in 2010 that Bret Michaels had a real good time, minus the good part. He ended up with a brain hemorrhage. He did not die, though. That's what they included in this little tidbit. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital, made a full recovery, and found love on television or something. Now, does it have anything to do with how tight that bandana was on his forehead?
Could be. Yeah, it's not good for you.
The mystery remains. What we are very familiar with is, and it's not every time, but we have had, and I'll be honest, some live events in which we got really drunk.
All right.
It's happened. Yeah, it's happened before. Yeah, you've gotten very drunk at some of the live events.
And
it's
so
true.
have you, and so has C-Lane. And we've all had that. We've been doing this for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone's had their turn. And I believe there was even one instance where the three of us were pretty ripped.
I will agree with the premise that you have gotten very drunk during a live event. Okay. I will agree with that premise, yes.
And now someone who can join this club that I guess is just me the most is Dead Mouse.
What do you do?
They. It's two of them.
5.
They returned to Coachella last weekend. And
wait, there's more than one Dead Mouse?
There was two of them. This is what the clips that I'm seeing. And I can't.
Dead Mouse is one dude, though.
It was two dudes on the stage, and they both apologized for getting blacked out drunk during Coachella.
I think I might have been his buddy or something, but Dead Mouse is definitely one dude.
So they recently added Quasar stage, and then he went up as his alter ego test pilot, but ended up pre-gaming a bit too hard before and during and throughout the entire thing. It was billed as B2B alongside, it was Zoo. So Zoo and Dead Mouse, a.k.a. Joel Zimmerman. They were supposed to play an extended multi-hour set on that Friday night of Coachella. Mm-hmm. However, the performance was cut abruptly short because Zimmerman was ripping shots, slurring his speech, making some very intense mixing choices, DJ style, and then falling over behind the DJ booth altogether.
Nice. Can I be real for a second?
Yeah, be real.
Why is it that seemingly no one seems to care that when these DJs play and they make insane amounts of money, they are literally doing nothing? No one seems to care. They're like, we're having a good time.
Well, they were
DJ
in
is
the
present.
Production studio to create these sounds, I imagine.
Some of them, yeah, but they're not even like. If I was the DJ, I'd at least be in charge of the effects that were happening on the stage. Make them, make
they
that
still
something.
Do that, I believe.
There's some of them that aren't doing. Sometimes they're not doing anything up there, Sabrina. I'm telling you, they're just looking for.
What these guys were doing was getting hammered, and he tweeted out, "Probably my last Coachella." Wrote in a comment. Then he followed up with what they're calling a more serious statement, posting a picture of his cat and writing, "Man, even my cat is disappointed in me. Though it could be argued that she always has been. Sorry about last night. LOL. To be fair, I felt the first quarter, 3 quarters was great. Huge shout out to Zoo for introducing me to whiskey and carrying my dumb ass till the bitter end. Let me quit smoking, do some friggin' personal resetting here at home, find my spirit animal, working on some new music, and come back better." And the rest is history.
Yeah, Zed played some instruments and during his, and then did a couple with the L.A. Philharmonic. You know, he at least switched
better.
Up. But I saw from the first weekend of him doing his closing number, and it was mostly just, him behind the tables and, kind of, and really the only thing that I think he did himself was he just turned the volume down for the crowd to sing lines a couple times because it was like his biggest song.
Yeah.
Someone who is getting a lot done, especially when they've been in the same place for quite a few years at this point, is Tiger King, baby. Joe Exotic. Congratulations. Let this drop before I tell you. Joe Exotic has announced that he has gotten married yet again from behind bars. The Tiger King, at 62 years old, revealed this week that he has tied the knot for the 6th time.
This man is very, very married at this point.
He is also still serving his 21-year sentence for the old attempted murder.
Ooh.
But he's now married to a fellow inmate named Jorge Flores Maldonado.
Is it weird to you guys that they let people get married in jail or prison?
I mean, are they really married? Is anyone officiating that?
I mean, I assume that the paperwork goes through, right?
He's done it 6 times already. I feel like they're like, we're going to put this to the side, and we'll file the paperwork after a year if you're still with that person.
Go along with it like it's all of the, oh, of course.
You're super married. Oh, yeah.
He shared I meant to send this to you. I'm sorry. Maybe you can Googs it real quick. Shared a Photoshop snap of them wearing suits to mark the occasion. He wrote, "Never been more proud of someone. Meet my husband, Jorge Flores Maldonado." A few days earlier, he also shared photos with his new husband in prison, posing for one with his hand resting on his chest.
Oh, look at these two.
Is that the Photoshop one, I'm hoping?
Ain't it adorable?
Look at that. I believe that is from a previous wedding of his, and they just changed the face out.
He looks quite young, this Jorge.
Yeah, I don't think but I don't think Joe Exotic looks that good right now.
He shared the news of his engagement to Jorge in October, telling his followers, "Meet Jorge. He's 33. He is so amazing, and he's from Mexico." Period.
Like he's
End
collecting them.
If there's a bingo card, he's about to scream bingo.
A collector of men. He's like, look at the one that I got here. Check it out.
It says the Supreme Court recognized marriage as a fundamental right which extends to prisoners. Just no conjugal visits in the federal prisons.
Well,
damn.
If the husband is inside the prison, it looks like we're going to go out to the yard every once in a while. Or the bathroom. I don't know where they have sex, guys. I'm sorry. Fundamental.
Do your research, man.
I feel like there was the fundal. You can't research out of a butt. Grow up. Fundamental rule. All right, I guess I'll just do the boob tube. Did you know the Pope used to be a bouncer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, go F yourself on the boob tube.
Sorry.
I had a whole song that I accidentally, but you had my voice changed on during the commercial.
You can still do the song. It's
no,
fine.
I can't. We are out of time.
You don't have to do the song right here. It doesn't mean you have to kick the can down the road every time. We could do it in the next segment.
We definitely don't have time for Kanye. That's a whole segment.
We could talk about that, too. We've got more show ahead of us.
Just say Kanye admitted to mopping his cousin.
Say that, because that's something we can discuss. We could talk about that. There's some angles to go at that.
After 98 years, the Academy has made a new rule that members are required to watch all of the nominated films, which is a surprise to everybody who thought, how did you nominate anybody without watching a lick of the films?
True.
And like I said just a bit ago, the Pope was a bouncer for a nightclub in Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's the fun fact that comes out as soon as he dies.
So you can imagine him getting down to some newer music because he was a bouncer at the nightclub.
Yes. He also vowed that he would baptize aliens, like outer space ones, if they came here and asked for it. He said, "When the Lord shows us the way, we are here to say, no, Lord, it is not prudent. Let it do it this way." He was a rapper, too, according to
Sounds like
quote.
it.
On the Boob Tube, so much fun TV and so much of a list that I just found. You can catch the second season premiere of Andor on Disney+, the premiere of The Race for the Crown on Netflix. This is about horses. Common Ground on Amazon, and Will Forte and Big X the Plug going to be on Kimmel. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. And I got to tell you, I'm living for this photo. It's everything to me right now. of Trump during the Easter celebration at the White House. And it's Trump with these little kids around him for Easter. And he's showing them the trading card of when he got the assassination attempt. And it's such a weird juxtaposition. It's like this table.
Look
of
at this.
these
This is the face I was making.
They shot me in the ear. He's got the trading card out, and this little kid's like holding his mouth. Well, what? On the Easter celebration, Trump is showing them the assassination attempt trading card. It's so great. I'll put this up on See It Now so you can take a peek during the break. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll talk about this Chipotle thing. I want to go deep on this Shannon Sharpe drama. That's right, football territory, baby. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Join the Jim Colbert Show for Boozy Brunch, Sunday, May 4th. Details at realradio.fm/brunch.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road at 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy. And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
We get the best start to the day because we started together.
Watch the Today Show weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com. Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts.
Oh, microphone's on.
Do you need anything for Publix other than chicken and rice?
No, but I do need those two things. You okay? Yeah. Be safe out there. Don't get kidnapped. Don't get adult napped. You still stoned?
No. I was really stoned. I don't like it.
Then don't drink them.
No, I'm fine with like maybe one. Two is not.
I think one's just like a nice little chill.
It was unexpected.
But then you get past that and you can't go backwards.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah. You can't just like slap yourself in the face and recover. All right.
I'm going to drop the stuff off at the
Oh, thank you.
Postal.
That still leaves the other package, but I don't have labels on those yet, but that's fine. See you later. Bye. Folks, if you have a magnet that's owed to you or anything else in the merch world, anything that you've emailed about that likely has been on my desk as a to-do, all of those are going to the post office right now. So anybody on Twitch who has redeemed a magnet opportunity, anybody who won Fritz on the Street who hasn't gotten their magnet yet, any of those things, the people who gifted secret shows and got the hats, all of those are going to the post office right now, and those will be on the way. If you're owed something like that and you don't get it by the end of this week, you might want to hit me up again. Or maybe wait till next week just to be careful, just to be sure. That way you'll know it's not like just getting hung up on the way there.
Also, here's one thing that we're going to start. We're going to start giving out extras for people who gift secret shows, and I'll be sending you fun extra like side merch, exclusive stickers, exclusive magnets, and those kind of things. But for right now, the deal remains as always. For every gifted secret show sub at thenewsjunkie.com/gift, or just click the gift icon on thenewsjunkie.com. For every gifted sub, you get a magnet so you can play a game of magnets. I just sent out to some people 12 magnets, a handful of people, a handful of 10 magnet orders, 5 magnets, however many subs you gift, those go out to you. And if you've gifted subs and you're owed, every single one of those is headed your way. It's a busy Saturday. Okay. It was a busy Saturday doing all those, but they're all on the way. 2 minutes. Somebody talking about putting magnets on the fridge? Hey, I get it. I understand. I think that the cool thing to do is take your treasured magnets, put them away in a collection somewhere where you can check them out and stuff, and post them online. And then extra magnets that you get, especially if you get them through gifting subs and stuff, put those in a stack, and every time one gets taken off your car in Game of Magnets, pop, put another one right on the back, put another one right on the back, put another. That is the greatest way to spread the word about the show ever, to continue doing that. Love it. Sean says, been in my car on Lake Wales. Nobody plays the game over here. What happens in those cases is depends on the neighborhood you live in, but it's very probably that many people have seen those magnets. But I would say 90% of people who see them are iffy and like a little scared to actually go through the process of grabbing a magnet, because that's the part that like takes some balls, right? So that's what usually occurs. If you have a magnet on the back of your vehicle like that, there's probably multiple people each day that are seeing it. Maybe nobody's gotten the opportunity to grab it just yet. All right, we're coming back.
One Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
On the website, thenewsjunkie.com. And if you're somebody who gifts a Secret Shows subscription, every gifted Secret Shows sub is a magnet sent to you from me. Go learn more at thenewsjunkie.com and thenewsjunkie.com/gift. Thanks for being with us on a Share the Show Tuesday. A lot of you out there still paying all the monies to the delivery services, Sabrina amongst you. I try to do it as rarely as I can. I try not to do it anymore because I feel like it's not a good deal. I just don't feel like it's a good deal. And I'm fortunate enough that right around us, a lot of the places that we like have either their own apps where it doesn't have any delivery fees, or we could just go pick stuff up. And I could pay it if I wanted to, but
is the price not inflated a little bit on the menu too? Like,
It is.
when you have no delivery fee,
Mm-hmm.
you're still getting kind of hosed.
People are still making their money in there somewhere. And I just don't like being nickel and dime to death. I don't want to feel like things shouldn't cost as much as they do. I hate like ordering a little lunch delivered from a sub place and then you go, it's $50? The hell, $50 is crazy. And then looking at with a portion of that comes from service fees and stuff, I'm over that. And I think people are trying to get bang for their buck now. They really are. And Chipotle is saying no thank you to all of you folks interested in that. Employees have been posting that the Chipotle Corporation has been shipping out new bowls for all their menu items, and they are much smaller than the previous ones were.
How nice is that? Actually, those are the same exact bowls that I use for the cats when I'm out of town.
Those bowls,
extremely tiny.
And Chipotle is pretty expensive, isn't it? Like, I don't know how much a bowl costs, but I would guess $10-ish or more.
Wasn't their whole thing that you had to pay more for guac? Or is that
they charge for that too, for sure. Like, they'll get you at the Chipotle. You'll go through and go, oh, I want a burrito. And then people think it's healthy. It's like all these things are not necessarily true. But one thing is for sure, things are more expensive and you get less almost everywhere you go.
I feel like Chipotle comes under fire for this a lot because their menu used to be rife with manipulation. Like it was perfect for it because you could get the burrito, or people found out that if you got the bowl, it was like more, and then you could and then they would just give you the tortilla for free, and now you can get like 2 burritos out of one. They had all these little hacks, and little by little, Chipotle has been chipping away at the hacks and just being normal.
Because the bean counters get involved.
Yeah.
And they say, what is it that we're doing?
Bean counters, because it's Chipotle, right?
It's truly a bean counter. They're wasting too many beans. And then they start to arrange things so it's more favorable to them. I saw a video, and it wasn't otherwise incredibly interesting. But it was a video from, I believe, 1989-ish. And some kid or somebody posted it on social media this past weekend. And the video didn't have a lot to it, but it was when cameras started to become a little more commonplace.
Facebook,
see him around
Instagram,
here and there.
Twitter, y'all see this?
And he goes, we're at McDonald's. Follow me inside. And you follow this 80s kid with all his 80s fashion inside of a McDonald's. And he's a little embarrassed by the camera. He's like, what am I going to get? And then he points the camera at the menu. And it's a different world. It's a view into a different world. Everything is so cheap. And
I think a hamburger without cheese was like below 80 cents.
Yeah, it was very, very cheap.
Back in my day.
Yeah, it was even into the very early 2000s or at least late 90s. You had still basically the same kind of deals. There wasn't a huge jump in fast food prices in that time. And then afterwards, and then during the pandemic for sure, all those prices, went up, and it becomes just too much. Sorry.
Which, barring any sort of lactose intolerance, I think like if you just want a hamburger with no cheese, I have questions.
Yeah,
like, I just prefer the hamburgers, nice meat with a couple of sauces on it, some dehydrated onions. So weird.
That's a weird move, but I look at old me as weird me too, because I used to get absolutely everything, no lettuce and no mayonnaise. I was disgusted by those two things.
Nothing wrong with a plain cheeseburger though, but you gotta have cheese.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't like have something like that and have like lettuce or mayo in particular on them. Now I'm the opposite. I'm a crunchy lettuce boy all the way through and through.
Now this guy just has a bowl of lettuce with a big squeeze of mayo in there.
I was last night shoving them double D's in my face and eating up all the crispy lettuce that came along with it. Thank you, gringos. Good stuff, friend. We're going to hear from you momentarily. A couple of moments to revisit. Somebody said Shaq may have had an accident on live television.
Oh, no.
Let's tune in. Let's see what's going on over there.
The other thing about Kawhi,
he's getting up.
You all
right, big fella?
Catching a cramp?
He's
go ahead, keep talking, Jeff.
Scooting off the broadcast.
I know what we're doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's that olive oil you've been drinking.
I know.
I like straight off the bat. They say, "You all right, big guy?" No.
Y'all keep going. Just go.
They said you're taking a crap, and in a broadcasting situation, gentlemen, usually when there's an emergency like that, you rally around the troops. You say, "We know we've got an emergency." Like if you see me get up and run out of the studio, you know there is a stage 5 emergency going on. Like I am about to make a mistake all over the place. But then again, Shaq's too big to sneak out. He's not really.
Also, this isn't an appropriate question, but his must
be huge,
bigger, right?
My God, yeah,
like a horse size.
Well, maybe they ask.
The other thing about Kawhi
he gets up.
You all right, big fella?
Starts catching a crap.
Go ahead, keep talking, Chuck.
Yeah, we're on TV.
I know what we're doing. Go ahead.
Don't leave that mic on.
I know what we're doing. Go ahead. Hey, take some matches with you. Hey, listen, he couldn't hold it. He can't hold it. After 40, he can't hold it.
That's a first.
He's gone.
The camera's following him.
If they just left the mic on and he gets in there and goes, "Oh, Shaq's sitting down now. Shaq gonna drop one." If they just left that on, get your hands off the buttons. 2 people recording. I'm never going to do this again. I do this to myself. I really do. I don't know why I put the punishment on myself. Sabrina was talking briefly during the next episode about these explosive posts from Ye or Kanye West. And he posted about, let me see if I can bring up the original here. Posted about a single that he released.
Yeah, I tried to grab it. It sounds terrible.
Okay.
It was like he recorded from his phone from an FM radio that was from 1980. So it wasn't worth editing. But the song called Cousins is inspired by the caption that you were about to read.
Okay. I'm trying to get that post because he's a very frequent tweeter or poster on X, and he's talking today a lot about the fact that his kids have been taken from him.
X post? I have it.
Yeah, send that to me if you don't mind, because now it's like I need a plan to exercise my rights with my kids because I'm not allowed to see my kids anymore. I'm a good dad. I'm a great father. I haven't seen Saint this year. Bippity boppity. He's going on for a while on that one. So let me skip over to the actual
it just sent. Check
post
the chat.
itself. I got it. I'm just bringing it up here. Here's the post that Kanye or Ye or whatever posted. He says, "This song is called Cousins." All right, fine, Ye. "It's about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't, quote, look at dirty magazines together anymore." Already there's many things to unpack from the beginning of this.
Like you told your cousin that you couldn't look at nudie mags, and that led him to kill a woman?
A pregnant woman, nonetheless, and all of these things kind of set off some alarm bells. He says, "Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I S'd my cousin's D until I was 14. Tweet sent." And he posted that out there, and I thought, well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that you're telling the world, and I did see some of the responses to it. Like
it's a little 2 different sides. A lot of people I saw were supporting. Obviously he's been.
Somebody said Kanye West to his cousin, and he said, "My name is Ye." He only corrected them on the name part. And
that he responded to this.
He responded.
My gosh.
Yeah. He reposted this, which is a wrestler who is, apparently visualizing some oral, and Kanye posts all this. I don't know. It's just a fire hose over there of crazy consistently. Today he's on to, away from the cousin stuff, he's on to, I guess he lost his kids, which shouldn't be very surprising to anybody who's been following along to what's been going on over there. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what's happening. I got the Shannon Sharpe stuff all queued up and ready to go. We're going to talk about that next on the show. Big drama around that. Rosie O'Donnell is popping up today. She's doing some interviews. I guess she's over in Ireland. I don't know why she went to Ireland, but she's over in Ireland. And she's saying she's not regretting. This. Yeah, I know that she was there, but she's now doing more interviews talking about being over there, and I guess she's making a documentary or something.
Is she Irish?
No, I don't believe so.
O'Donnell?
Oh, maybe she is. I don't know. She's just said she's moving to Ireland because of Trump, obviously.
Right.
So she doesn't want to be here. Let's see what she says in the interview.
Rosie, thanks so much for joining us. As you know, some people entertain the idea of moving abroad after the 2024 election. You actually did it. Tell us about your experience so far, and do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Not a day has gone by that I thought it was the wrong decision. I was welcomed with open arms. I knew after reading Project 2025 that if Trump got in, it was time for me and my non-binary child to leave the country. And although I was not one of the celebrities who announced that that's what I would do, I made the decision within my family and my therapist, and should he win. And then when he did, we made the plan into action, and we were gone before he was inaugurated.
So she's saying she's over there. She hasn't regretted a second of it. Why do they always go to some place like this? That's the kind of thing that surprises me. There's always some like Western world country that they go to.
No, Wikipedia says she is in the process of securing Irish citizenship through descent. Her father immigrated from County Donegal during his childhood, and her mother was Irish American.
Well,
so
God.
the O'Donnell is Irish.
She's going to be one of those people, though, because are you still Irish now? How long does this follow you around for? How long do you get to be Irish for? Over in Dublin, Rosie O'Donnell trying to blend in. There's a lot of people that are in that kind of mindset, though. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for some of the people who think like this, who are like, I got to flee the country. I got to do all of these things. And I know people who have very, very, very close friends that go, hey, they heard a rumor that I might have voted for Trump, and then now they won't talk to me anymore. They won't even associate with me. And people will hear that. Some of you will hear that right now and be like, hell yeah, this is the most serious thing in the world. And I'm going, you do you. Just go down your own road and plow your own road. And do what's best for you. But sometimes I see people falling so far into this like mega political stuff that it seems like it makes them not happy. It seems like the very, very political people are also very, very, very unhappy. Very, very unhappy. And I hate to see that, honest to God. I want everybody to be living a happy life and enjoying themselves. Don't always see that. Quickly, another Pope thing. C-Lane has more about this. I don't know what the actual details are. But one of the rituals that they do after death, O Pope,
possibly,
as is the case with Francis, is here's them sealing the door to his place.
Oh, well, no, this one's real, yeah.
This one is, this is a real deal. This is in conclave and stuff, too, where they take the door, they put a ribbon around the handles of the Pope's door, and they tie the ribbon off. And then the lead cardinals are kind of there, and then they drop out some wax on this ribbon, and then they seal the door. This is sort of the whole thing.
Go in with enough food for however long it takes? Or this is
to
where his body is?
This is to like his apartment. The Pope's apartment, they seal off as part of these, the events that they do and the pomp and circumstance. I don't know. And I don't imagine they leave it like that forever, right? Doesn't the next Pope just take over the spot? It's just a thing that they do for a little while. And it's kind of interesting, all the different rituals that they have. What was the one that you were saying you heard about, Celine? We don't know if it's true.
There's mixed reports on it, because there are definitely some outlets that would say this is 100% something that either is about to happen or has happened already. And there are some that was like, no, that might have been an old thing. It's more of a ritual than a real thing. But they said that the guy that is looking over the newly dead Pope gets out this silver hammer and strikes the body on the forehead 3 times to make sure he's dead, whilst calling out the Pope's baptismal name.
They hit him with an actual hammer?
Yes.
That's wild if true.
In the knee or face?
In the forehead.
In the head, on the forehead.
Well, it's a fragile forehead at that age, no?
Oh, could crush it.
But the other people are saying, like, listen, that was kind of a myth or an old tradition that during a period of reform they did away with, and there's a hammer, but they use it to smash the ring to signify the end of the Pope's reign.
Wow.
It's still a hammer, but it has one of those squeaky things at the end of it.
Just for the sound effects. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get into this Shannon Sharpe drama. If you don't know about Shannon Sharpe or football or NFL, don't worry. We'll go into text messages. There's audio that's been released. They're leaking all sorts of stuff. And when you see this out there, we'll give you the entire download so you know exactly what's going on. That drama coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Which would you rather do for $50 million? Fight Mike Tyson for real?
Where he fights you for real?
Or 3 wieners?
The 3 wieners.
Oh, yeah. I'll take 3
Mike Tyson will kill you.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG292557. MSRP $30,840. Qualified applicants to the KFA, 0 down. $13.88 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax title license, $8.99 dealer, $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Future health weight loss.
Want to lose 10 pounds by next month? You need to go to futurehealth.com for easy, fast, and affordable access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections. A new report proves Future Health users get 58% better results than meds alone, and with fewer side effects. We know you'd rather lose 45 pounds easily and keep it off than only 30 pounds by yourself and gain it all back. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance. It's all done online with their licensed clinicians and fast pharmacy deliveries. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
This is an ad for Roundup for Lawns. It kills weeds down to the root without harming your lawn. It works on crabgrass, dandelions, clover. It works on weeds with names you can't even pronounce. It's Roundup for Lawns. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text free.
Skull Mike. Skull Mike squad, hang tight. I got to get some printouts. right, School Mike Squad. Who knows who Shannon Sharpe is? Do you guys know who he is? You know more from like the podcast that he does? His podcast has gotten pretty big. Credit where credit's due. I remember him when I was younger being a star football player. And then honestly, there was a little stretch where a lot of people were suggesting that he was gay. And they had many photos of him with his effeminate little dog and like outfits he was wearing. And now the hype is a lawsuit just dropped against him. And he has responded with like not only just statements, but like text messages and it's kind of explosive. But is he on your radar? We'll find out. We're coming back now.
Sponsored by AbbVie.
The future of the NFL is getting written.
With the first pick.
Right now. The 2025 NFL Draft. Catch Jay Glazer alongside former Jets GM Joe Douglas, College Football Hall of Famer LeVar Arrington, and Fox Sports lead college football reporter Jenny Tabb.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night Live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
It involves some text messages, some audio, and some accusations. And we'll get into all of those to bring you up to speed here in just a moment. You can join us on the show at any point in time. Send your dispatch with your thoughts, your opinions over to thenewsjunkie.com. I tell you, you can text the show, but those people are weird. You're just strange. They're spying on my computer, my laptop over here. And like, would Sean have a tab that says this or that? Or what did the person say about one of my tabs?
I like the Sean tab that says black man says cracker.
All right. Just in case they didn't know what was going on. It's about a black man who says Cracker Barrel staff ignored him for 30 minutes. It's not about the word cracker, lest they think it was about that. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe the cracker's a cracker.
Tab open, and when you click it, somebody guy's like, cracker.
I just hit it every once in a while, just for funsies during the breaks. And I don't know if this guy was legit or whatever, or if he's just making up stuff. I'm just a cracker myself. I've only had good experiences at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
They always seem to be very nice. The service always seems to be pretty solid. I don't care about the food at all, but I've never had a bad experience like that. But maybe we'll get into that at some point in time during the show. We'll see what happens. Right now, let's dive into the world of the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. Who is Shannon Sharpe? Well, he used to be a football player now. He's a podcast host. They call him Unk, I think.
Oh.
He's done a lot of very popular podcast interviews and stuff.
Last time he made headlines like this, was this not the man who accidentally went live and made love to a woman?
Oh, he might have. There was an incident with him on Instagram. I don't know if that was him, but check it out. See if it was. But in this case, he's facing a lawsuit. Shannon Sharpe lawsuit accuses him of sexual assault and battery.
Uh-oh.
And I've got the actual lawsuit here, which we'll look at in a moment. But this says, woman's lawsuit accuses Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault and battery. This woman's from Nevada. The woman who says she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles area health club in 2023 filed the suit this weekend. We've also got his response because, let's see what he says. And he's dropped some text messages from her that are wild, allegedly from her. They are wild. We'll go through all this together. But the woman who says she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles area health club in 2023 filed this lawsuit, and she's going for big money. So let's look at the actual lawsuit itself. The introduction to the suit says, a woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no. I agree. I would also say the same would apply to a man or anybody else in a sexual relationship. The moment you say no, you're stopping consenting. I don't think that's some fringe belief. That's just normal. That's what normal people believe. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who's accustomed to getting what he wants, it says, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her.
Okay.
Sharpe refused to accept the answer no, and then they go full R word on the plaintiff, according to the accusations here. Despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no, it says. Then they go into just some details. And some of that stuff, when they put in the fluff in these legal arguments, it's like it doesn't matter then the woman is 30 years his junior. That doesn't have any impact on anything legally. As long as they're both of consenting age. Yeah, everybody's an adult here.
That just makes her less than 26.
Yeah. Defendant Shannon Sharpe is a 56-year-old former NFL superstar. He claims to be one of the most successful sports media personalities in the country. I wouldn't argue with that. He's a big name in the sports world. He's up there for sure. Plaintiff is a young woman in her early 20s. They're trying to compare the two. So he's the biggest figure in the sports world. She's just a sole young girl in her early 20s. In 2023, she was working out at a gym in L.A. when Sharpe approached her for the first time. Previously, Jane Doe, because obviously she's not using her name in this, had noticed Sharpe watching her during her workouts. At this time, she was just 19 years old. Damn, some of you guys that are going after teenage girls, what are you expecting to happen here eventually? At the time, she did not know who he was, only that he was an older man ogling her at the gym.
Very
Doe
tall.
could tell that Sharpe was much older than her. She found him physically intimidating. Eventually, he introduced himself. At his determined insistence, she gave him her number. All of this is really shaping a narrative here, right? It can't just be they met in the gym and she gave him the number. It's his big physical characteristics and his age gap and pressured her and determined insistence to give her the number. Over the next couple of weeks, Sharpe incessantly pursued plaintiff. He constantly approached her at the gym and continued to contact her frequently with phone calls and text messages asking to meet up, unwilling to take no for an answer. Eventually, plaintiff gave in. All of this is victim narrative and agreed to meet with Sharpe outside of the gym. However, before doing so, Shannon Sharpe demanded that she sign an NDA, something the plaintiff found a bit concerning. I wonder how many famous people do this now at this step.
So many.
Here we go. We're about to make love, but at first, I'm going to need you to sign this NDA, if you don't mind.
What's crazy is I don't know anybody famous enough that would ever have asked me to sign an NDA for any reason. But if they did, then I couldn't talk about it. Which is I probably couldn't even talk about the fact that I signed an NDA.
I know somebody who signed an NDA, and then I said I would never say anything. Give me the juice. And
they told you?
They're like, we know what you do, and I'm like, it's just between us.
Did they tell you, or did they hold it in?
I have an NDA. I could not tell you.
Oh, double NDA. She refused, it says. Despite his repeated efforts to get her to sign that NDA, Shannon Sharpe, when she refused time and time again, he eventually dropped the issue and invited her over to the house. What followed was the beginning of a rocky consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The relationship was very unequal. Sharpe is more than 30 years older. They are really hammering that age gap home. Is considerably wealthier and is physically much larger and exponentially stronger. He's famous and has power. They're showing you all of the differences between the two. Plaintiff and Sharpe saw each other on his terms, on his schedule, 4 times a week, blah, 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 blah. And then they go on.
The characteristics of a true narcissist.
Yeah, they go on with how things started to sour. Oh, Sabrina, you're right here. By this point, Sharpe was no longer able to credibly maintain that the relationship was exclusive. He had, at this point, accidentally or purposely to advance his career, went live on Instagram while having sex with another woman. So that we remember when that story happened, when that came out.
That was on September 11th of 2024.
Never forget.
Yeah. And he denied his involvement, said his account was hacked, and then did a 180 and said that it was authentic and apologized.
This woman, this Jane Doe, who is suing him,
is suing for punitive damages and compensatory damages in excess of $50 million. That's what she's going for. So over to him real quick before we get some more of what's happening here. Here's Shannon Sharpe's response.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who is targeting Jay-Z.
Tony Busby, that attorney.
Yep, that's probably who wrote the document we just read.
I thought he was up for getting
disbarred.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Busby is a very controversial attorney who, if I remember correctly, was the same person who represented the accuser against Jay-Z, which eventually she buckled under pressure there.
But also, I mean, we first heard his name when the Diddy stuff came out, and he's like, I have 125 victims that are doing all the lawsuits.
Right.
And I don't know. I wonder if he's even still representing those Diddy victims.
I don't know, but he's definitely not your run-of-the-mill attorney. When we see that name, Tony Busby, we know, okay, there's a little something different here.
Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Bro, whoa. Was he saying it was a sex video?
Yeah.
And he wants the whole thing released?
He does.
Huh.
Wow. I don't know.
He's saying that he believes that Tony Busby has an edited clip of this tape of him and this woman.
Everyone got the tape.
No, not the Instagram. The Instagram woman was different than the Jane Doe that's suing him.
This is the new accuser. But I was surprised that he would say, hey, not only am I okay with you releasing this, because he just kind of granted him permission to release this, but I want you to release the whole thing? That's wild.
You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
There he is, Shannon Sharpe. He says it's a shakedown from an OnlyFans star, and that it was the entire time this whole thing was consenting back and forth. And now we get into the real awkward part, because his attorneys have released text messages allegedly between the two of them. And my God.
Good times.
I don't know what to say about him. This is a statement by Lanny J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe's attorney. The first text message says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. It's one of the text messages. This is going to be such a dangerous segment for me. I know you miss this big juicy ass. 25,000 for each cheek. Gabriella Zuniga said. It says this is from his attorney. The lawsuit filed by
hilarious if he's like, all right, I'll only take one.
The lawsuit filed by Tony Busby is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It's filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed, he says. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter. That's the video he was talking about. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. They won't provide a copy to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we're releasing many of her explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that indicate the nature of their relationship. So, some more. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Do you need background
music? There is a lot here.
I don't even know. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me.
That's what that one says. That's a text from Gabriella. I want to put my tongue in the backside and then marry you. Oh,
that's sweet. Is that considered a proposal in the court of law?
It could be. I'm not sure. Some of these I just don't want to say out loud.
What about the you crave it? Crave it one?
I won't be saying that on the record. I would like to avoid that if at all possible.
It says that he better crave it because he's going to be stuck with it for life after he puts a big black baby in her.
It says that. Indeed. Yep. Another text message.
What if it's a smaller baby? Premium.
Send it back. These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by this woman. This paints a clear picture. It was a consensual adult relationship, included role-playing, sexual language, yada, yada, yada. Mr. Sharpe now believes the secret taping was all part of a planned setup as part of a blackmail scheme. He denies all of the allegations. I will tell you, looking at these kind of stories, these kind of headlines afterwards, I don't know who's telling the truth. I know that attorney's scummy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's lying. It's
just a lot of information up front.
It's a lot.
And if
some of it sounds like it was around back.
But
babies are involved.
I am going to tell you that something should be taken to heart by every celebrity out there. Every single one of you.
Thank you for listening, first of all.
From the Joe Gattos of the world to the Shannon Sharpes of the world and everywhere in between. When you are a male celebrity in the spotlight, or a female for that matter, but your dynamics are much, much, much different. If you're a male celebrity in the spotlight, you are going to be offered opportunities to have sex with people in your life. You're going to be offered opportunities to have sex with women who are much younger than you. You'll have 18, 19, early 20s women who are in your DMs or trying to meet up with you or to go back to your hotel. And all I'm saying is, if afterwards you end up in an explosive situation like this, don't be surprised, okay? Don't be surprised. This is what happens when you get in a situation like this. He didn't get the NDA signed. He wanted to get laid so bad, it sounds like. He just went through with it and said, forget the NDA. I'll trust this 19-year-old. This will pan out in my favor. So who's telling the truth? I don't know, but it seems like he's going to push back hard against these accusations in this lawsuit. And the whole thing goes in depth on the background and all the factual allegations and, their relationship and stuff. But, yeah, we'll see how the public opinion is shaped in this. Most of the people in his replies seem to be supporting him. But
we got you, Unc.
I guess they would. Yeah, this says, we support you, Unc, but find you a loving wife and get out these streets, this person said. We love you, Unc, and support you. With that being said, please pick better women. You're successful, funny, rich, you have good energy. Even if it's just for casual purposes, there are simply better women to deal with. And don't let nobody record you and keep the video. There's lots of tips in this thread. We'll see if he learns from them. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch or an email. The dispatches go over to thenewsjunkie.com and the emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. We're back with jury duty. Jury duty includes a man who got pulled over after a police chase and offered a little something to one of the officers, which is probably not a good idea. But he did it anyway, and we'll go over this together and see what happened. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA.
The Magic hope to avoid a deep deficit in their first-round playoff series, already down 0-1 to the Celtics heading into Game 2 tomorrow night. 9 Florida State football players have entered the transfer portal since the end of spring practice. More than 150 rules are being removed from the NCAA's handbook, allowing Division I schools to provide direct financial payments to players. I'm Seth Everett.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing?
School Mike Squad. Can I tell you, the internet continues to be an innavigable, absolute shit mess of websites. Every website I go to, when we try to talk about something like this, has endless alerts and pop-ups and notifications and ad blocker pop-ups and interactions on this level and that level and autoplay videos and everything. It's a miserable goddamn experience. And I don't know how people haven't revolted already. If you wonder why the web display ad business has cratered in the last 2 decades, this is why. Because now when I go to your website, there's 14 videos that are playing at the same time, some of them with audio on simultaneously, while you ask me if you could send me alerts through a desktop browser where I don't ever want any alerts that way, and then you beg me to sign up to knock down your power wall, and then your ad blocker thing, your ad blocker pops up. It's just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and it should burn. Okay? What a mess. Not enough people talk about this. Complain more. You're angry too? You should be angry. The only thing that surpasses it is the navigability of the mobile internet. You send me a link on a text message. I click it and I'm like, oh, old-fashioned websites. To go to a website and get away from the walled gardens of social media where they want to trap you in to the hate feed. And I go off to one of those websites. And then everything is like malformatted. And the videos are playing. And you're yelling at me. There's an ad for something I don't care about, but I did Google one time. It's so bad. And then I scroll down to start reading it, and then the page starts shifting, and then I'm trying to slowly read the article, and right when I get 3/4 of the way down the article, the entire page crashes, and it refreshes, and goes back to the top. That's nonsense. Michael says, at least you're not bitter. I'm just an angry consumer. And my question is, why aren't you? Go to the news junkie. Go to the website. Especially if you're a Secret Show subscriber. You don't see barely anything like this. Not 8,000 things screaming at you. It doesn't need to be this way. Kevin says XXX sites is what he's clicking. Kevin, I have never been to an adult website on my laptop ever in my life. I'm clicking on, especially on my phone, I'm clicking on links to news stories, literal news stories. And I'll say, oh, okay, I've heard of this website, and then it'll pop up, and it's just such a bad experience. It's so bad. And people wonder, they're like, why is traffic plummeted to all of these websites? Why are all these people getting laid off? Well, because so many of these media outlets are full of these grifting liars who want to send sludge down the pipes to people who just want to hear that they're right already. They don't care about actual facts, and then their websites suck. Excuse me. Did I ask you for any ham?
I'm going to throw it away if you want.
This is like a pop-up in real life. That's what this is. I'm hitting the X. I don't want your ham.
It's not mine.
Oh, you're going to throw it away?
Do you want it?
No, I don't want it. I told her. you guys hear how tough I was in that interaction? All right, we're coming back.
I'll text message from iHeartMedia.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is...
I can't believe Scott Peterson updates in jury duty. We got something related to the FSU stuff and fallout from that. Kind of interesting. We'll go over that as well. We'll get to you. Your feedback is headed our way. At least I hope so. Via dispatch or email the tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And why not? Let's jump into it here. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. That's right, friends. After an accident, you got many people to reach out to. But I say the smart move is calling Mo DeWitt. You know him, you love him from the show, and you can trust that you're in good hands. You don't want a big, giant, bloated law firm where they're not going to remember you. They don't know who you are. You're just another case so they can brag at the end of the year how much money they actually raise. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be that. 866-CALL-MO or 800-CALL-MO. Both of those are going to work for you. 800-CALL-MO or justcallmo.com. A police chase with a wild twist at the end. Let's go into the body camera footage because after this high-speed pursuit or some sort of pursuit, the driver offered up something to the arresting officers. Let's see how it went.
Stop. Stop. I'm going to give you a drink. That's it.
I don't know if you caught on to that.
I'm getting a drink after this?
It's a police chase, and he drove by the cop, and he goes, I just want to give you a drink. That's it. And he drove by the car.
So
he's trying to hand him a vodka spritzer. He's trying to give the cop a vodka spritzer. Let me go back here so we can watch that again. Ready? Here we go.
Stop. Stop.
Trying to stop him.
I'm going to give you a drink. That's it.
Guy's got some balls.
Drinking some. Looked like a beer or something. He just drove by.
Moving very fast.
Towards, I believe Lakeview.
Uh-oh, let's get him. Spike strip. All right, they're pulling up to him. Flat tires. Not a good move, buddy.
Show me your hands now! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground now!
Bro got out all sorts of casual. Yeah.
Also, the EDM in the background still bumping.
He got out all sorts of casual, man, and walked toward these officers. All right, so they stopped him.
Show me your hands now!
We missed the part where he hit somebody.
He crashed into an SUV. Yeah. There's an SUV that he's hit here.
Get on the ground now! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground!
Oh, taser!
Put your hands behind your back!
Man, he fell
right now.
He fell just as nonchalantly as he got out of that car and walked towards them.
He said, what am I under arrest for? And they said, a lot of stupid S right now. And
You guys had fun, all right?
he said, there's the quote for you. 866-CALL-MO or 800-CALL-MO.
You guys had fun, though, right? Oh, God. I don't know if they're going to let you off any easier because of that.
Smirk.
Ain't that something, man? Damn. What a day in the life. So there he goes. He had a can of Kettle One vodka spritzer as he was cruising down the road. Smith is his name. Richard Christopher Smith of Miami. This is one of your peeps, Sabrina.
Video the heat is on.
Driving in circles around a store in his black minivan is what started this. And he stole those alcoholic beverages, and that brought the police upon him, and then police chase, and now he's in trouble. There you go. We got to get to some more stories here. We'll work in a couple real quick. Students from 2 of these Florida shootings are now demanding the governor, in this case of the state of Florida, because of where they happened, reject a law to lower the gun purchasing age. Days and days after a deadly shooting on their campus, Florida State University students who also survived a mass shooting in Parkland, these kids, in 2018, sent a letter to Ron DeSantis demanding he squash efforts to lower the firearm purchase age back to 18 years old. It was raised to 21 following Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and now these folks want this to be changed again. They want to be brought back to the 21-year mark and not 18 years old. I don't know where everybody's at on that, but that's where at least these students are. I've talked about this before. I have said, and if you're not reading into the tea leaves this way, I hate to say it, friend, you just got it wrong. The younger generation, Gen Z, and anybody after Gen Z, even a lot of the millennials, have a wildly different relationship with guns than many other generations prior to them. They are, many of them, either experiencing something like this at their school, or they know somebody who experienced something like this on their school, or certainly they've seen it happen at schools that they didn't attend. And it puts them in a completely different headspace. I will say once again what I always say. I haven't heard many law changes that would actually stop this. In this case, the guy took a gun from his stepmother, who was a cop at FSU. This wouldn't have stopped that in any way. But, whether or not it's going to happen is a different question altogether. What do you think? Let us know. BDMX Con says, pointless. This law is just to get in front of new case law. Courts have ruled that you can't split adults into more dangerous groups by age alone. Kevin says, age doesn't matter. They'll find a way to get their hands on the weapons. I had my 18-year-old buddy buy me a beekeeping gun when I was 14. A beekeeping gun, you say?
You need bullets to keep bees?
I think maybe Kevin was voice texting.
BB gun?
BB gun?
Or a beekeeping gun, and they're just out there
it's very
ready
tiny
to go.
bullets.
All right.
I don't know.
Beekeeping gun.
He says BB. He says star BB. Yeah, he got it wrong. Okay, we are a little behind, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll get to that Scott Peterson case.
One button electric bee smokers, like instead of the little.
I like those.
With the bellows is just an electric one.
All right, we got to run. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the Scott Peterson story. We'll get to an update in the, believe it or not, Shannon Sharpe case. Already more coming out about that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Look, we get it. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy rant tacos and that suspiciously overpriced coffee you keep pretending is an experience. Win a cool $1,000 just for listening to us. That's $1,000 in your hand. Real money. Cold, hard cash. Use it to pay bills or blow it on something completely irresponsible. Hey, we don't judge. We just give you $1,000 and let you make bad decisions. Listen reason to win. Or don't, but then you'll be broke and bored. 13 keywords a day. Enter them at realradio.fm. And because you need to hear this, answer your phone if we call on Real Radio 104.1, where your poor life choices start with us. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. 2 bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a side for $1. Win your share of $250K or more today. Prize pool to be paid out in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
And try to laugh at the news and see what's going on out there each day in the world of all things viral. Learn more on the website, which is one click away at thenewsjunkie.com. Into some emails in a moment. C-Lane has some audio for us, which I guess is related to this whole Shannon Sharpe case. And what do you know about this audio file itself? What do you know about it?
It sounds like she was recording a phone conversation with him.
All right.
She's very clear on it. He seems to be coming over a phone, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's some cursing in it that I got out. And then after the cursing, there's like a lot of stretches of silence that I kind of got rid of. But
all right,
it's supposed to show a violent streak in him.
So this makes him look, Shannon Sharpe look a little angry and out of balance?
A little
allegedly,
bit.
Allegedly.
Although when you juxtapose them with some of the text messages that she's alleged to have sent, they don't really seem that crazy.
Yeah, she's got an attorney. She's going after $50 million because she says that he was, they were not consenting in some of the relations that they had together. Here's the audio that I guess she recorded.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just going to like get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like.
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
This is
I don't
weird.
think you have a choice in the matter.
You know, okay, one thing that hit me like a broadside attack, she sounds like a kid. She sounds like a young girl.
Significantly younger than him.
And they're going to be pushing that a lot. They're pushing that a lot in the lawsuit. Clearly, she's trying to record and bait him in now. I mean, she's like, I don't want that to happen to me.
But then, like, the end, and granted, this is the first I've heard, mind you, aside from what we read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing this, like that last part, I'm like, are we going into kinky talk?
Well, see, at the end, so after he says, if you say that word again, I'll choke the S out of you.
Where should I bring it back to? Like halfway through?
Let me explain this, and then we can listen to it again.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
After the I'll choke the S out of you line, the rest of that conversation takes a good 50-plus seconds to happen because of the amount of silence that I took out of it. Just because
they're just both sitting on the phone?
Yeah.
That's awkward.
So it was weird. And then at the end, he says, she doesn't want it. Yes, you do. And then, so, like, think about this. If you just listen to the audio, it does sound not so great for Shannon Sharpe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're to believe some of the text messages that came off of his phone, like the one that says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're blanking me.
Mm-hmm. That'll change the perception?
It kind of, you go, maybe this is part of their kink.
I don't know who is to blame here. G80 on YouTube says, typical female BS. When you have money, these street women will come for you. Dan says, and stable, mature people who aren't psychopaths won't get baited in like that. Man, any adult who's a celebrity and who's a male should, if a girl sounds like this on the phone, you're too old to be with her, and you're risking all of these things happening. And when somebody records themselves like this, they're probably trying to bait somebody in. That's why it feels that way.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
All right, so this is like,
I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Each side is like releasing their stuff. Here's the lawsuit. Here's my audio. Here's your text messages. Just sloppiness. Just like, there it is everywhere.
Curious what Mo's take, when we talk to him later this week, of, is this 2025 now that when it comes to lawsuits, I imagine in the past it's like, don't do anything until we're in the court.
Yeah.
But I am seeing more and more that everything is released to the public first and foremost. And how does that make the job of the attorney? Does it benefit it, or is this going to make it that much more complicated?
Well, throw that on the list, C-Lane, for Mo, for sure, number one. Number two, it's like the battle for the court of public opinion versus the battle in actual court. And they don't want to just let all the allegations sit out there and not respond to them. And then everybody goes, well, this is what you did. This is what this woman said you did. So this is what you did. So everybody goes to warfare. What I'm always stunned by is how many recordings, how many videos, how many like text message and screenshots. I'm not in the dating world, so this is all very, very foreign to me. Thank God. It seems like such nightmarish warfare. I better make sure I save all these receipts in case something goes awry here. It's very odd. We're going to hear from you.
I only have one receipt saved from my wife, Ashley.
No, do you? Is
Yes.
it about being killed or something?
It is. I've told you guys before. You look on my phone and find the video where she says she's going to poison me.
You got to keep that just in case if all hell does break loose here eventually. Let's go to a couple of emails coming in before a few other things. This is Steven saying he's got a correction. Steve says, Sean, you ass clown. All right, you're starting off real hot here, Steve. You better be a smart guy emailing like this, or you're going to wander into some bad territory here. Don't talk unless you know what you're talking about. You can stop anyone harming another no matter what. Called the Good Samaritan Act, even though he put the Hood Samaritan Act. You cannot.
It's when you do it in the hood, you're a hood Samaritan.
You cannot detain someone or citizens arrest someone because you don't have the authority to arrest someone. Thanks, Steve. I assume, Steve, that you're not suggesting that this guy is in his rights to hold down the 11-year-old girl.
No, we were talking about what can be done to him.
Yeah.
And like for what he was doing, he might have been in the commission of a felony.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got what we were saying wrong.
Yeah, because Steve, I think you're just wrong about that. If somebody's in the act of committing a felony, you absolutely can step in and do things.
We were saying that the Mutu or whatever his name was, he was not within his rights to detain the girl if her only quote unquote crime is throwing eggs at his house.
It sounds like he sent the email before he listened to the rest of the segment.
Maybe, I don't know. A lot of the people who get mad
probably
at
missed
me,
that great fight too.
Go back. Check the podcast. The three-way fight. Very rare on the show, Steve. But a lot of people who do this fire off before they've heard everything or sometimes are just kind of dumb. I don't know where Steve's coming from. But the idea that you can't detain somebody or citizens arrest them because you don't have the authority to arrest somebody is crazy and stupid. If somebody right now tries to go into C-Lane's studio with a gun and kill him, and I, in the hallway of iHeartMedia, tackle that person and hold them down, is your brain so full of mashed potatoes and leftovers that you don't understand I can hold that person, detain that person, in a way citizens arrest that person until the police arrived? Do you think that there's some sort of game with pirate-type rules where they say parlay and I have to let them go? Maybe you're just, I don't know where you're coming from, but you're not right about what you're saying. So there you go. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Anonymous says, hi, I've been listening to you guys on the radio every day for 2+ years. Well, first of all, Anonymous, thank you. She says, don't feel sorry for Elon Musk.
Or he.
Because Elon fired thousands of federal employees saying things like they haven't worked in 5 years and they are getting paid. That is a flat-out lie. Everyone was working. Now, come on, Anonymous.
Everyone was working.
Come on. We don't have to be one or the other here. It's obvious there is fat in the federal government. There are a lot of federal employees, and many of them were probably just kind of cruising along, taking a paycheck off the government dole. And some of those people did probably deserve to be fired, right? Did all of them? No. Was it way too haphazard? Yes. We could join together in this territory. But the idea, everyone, 100% of them, they're all working. They were all great workers. Come on. They kept the federal government running like a well-oiled machine through the pandemic, working longer hours than normal. Yes, from home, but they did a much. You're doing the thing that everybody else is doing on the other side. You're doing the thing where they go, every government employee is wasteful spending. You're going, no government employees are not wasteful spending. And I just fundamentally disagree. She says the system is now crumbling because the federal employees are not there to work since he fired them. There's small issues here and there, but I think most of this is like the Twitter thing. When Elon fired all the Twitter workers, fired 70% of the workforce or something for a couple of months. It's oh no, Twitter is going to collapse. There's not enough people. And then we realized, oh, it was another bloated company with way too many people working for them. I want everybody who is doing good work to be continuing with their work. I want the people who aren't, who are just kind of loafing and stuff, to be fired. I'd be fine with that. But I'm not saying I feel sorry for him. He knew exactly what he was getting into with all of this. I don't think that's something I would say. Julia emails the show. Hey, guys, longtime listener, absolutely love the show. Well, that's a good start, Julia. Thank you. On Friday's show, you guys were talking about 3-year-old twins and what they want to be when they grow up, and it got me giggling. At the time, the 2 3-year-olds said they wanted to be a ninja. Oh, no. Was that,
okay, we were talking about the adult twins that were really weird.
That was yesterday. No, the 3-year-old.
We have a lot of twin talk on the show.
That got kicked out of the
Ninja
preschool.
And no, Bubble was Jackson.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that one. It was something else that you could equally not be. A swan or a duck? Or
something like
that.
Yeah.
A duck. It was a ninja and a duck.
But then somebody clapped back and said, you definitely can be a ninja. Here's a picture of ninja school.
They were right about that, yeah. When my son, now 25 years old, was about that age, I asked him the same question.
He's a ninja
His answer was priceless. She said her son looked at her and said, I want to be black. We are white, by the way. I was trying to tell him.
Old?
No, when he was a child, when he was 3. I was trying to tell him it doesn't work like that, but he got so mad when I told him that it wouldn't happen. He started to walk away and then stopped. Then he pulled down his swimming trunks and pointed to his tan line, and he said, but I tan well. He stormed off, totally pissed, and I felt terrible because I crushed his little dreams. Thought I'd share. Have a beautiful day. Keep up the awesome work, Julia.
Have you not seen the video of the little girl who is so upset because her mom tells her she's not black?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
It's the,
I don't know if I have.
I feel like we've seen this.
Please Google it, because right now I have to solve a puzzle in order to view this video.
Boy, I hate some of those, especially, is it on TikTok?
Yes.
It's like,
I haven't seen this.
Which of these two are the same shape?
It's so bad. I hate it. It's kind of like 10 times.
It's 2 hours. Got it.
Link on YouTube says, MAGA Wasson, always right. Damn right. Write it down, please. Write it down. Angry Lil Viking says, MAGA Sean, agree with me because you're always wrong. Notice how none of you are telling me where I'm actually wrong, because you're inbred numbskulls who don't know anything about the world.
And he'll say the same thing if you tell him why he's wrong.
No, you won't. No, I won't. I will admit when I'm wrong on this show. I do that all the time. I would admit when I'm wrong about something. If I get something factually wrong, I will tell you where I was wrong. The problem is most of you people who think I'm wrong about something just don't want to hear something different. Okay? I'm not going to spoon feed you a bunch of garbage. I'm going to tell you what I think is right and what I think is true. Sometimes you're not going to like it, but here we are regardless.
I sent you the video. I figured out the shapes.
No curses in this one? All right.
I hope not. I mean,
this little girl.
I don't think it would be as cute if she was using it.
I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Now Sean needs shapes.
What do you got?
A little bit of a pause here. I've got to click the 2 objects that are the same shape because navigating the web is awesome. Here we go. Here she is.
Do you know why I'm making this breathing noise?
Why?
Because you made me have my coat on. And
it's cold.
Yeah, you made me carry my bag. It's got a water bottle. It's got an apple.
A water
Do you
bottle?
understand?
Love the accent.
Me too. I want a British kid so bad.
Kilos they weigh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a backpack in a backpack. Well, school is hard work, you know. So?
You got to walk to school?
Where's the part that she...
I don't know.
If I've got to, I've got to. If I can't, I can't. It's just so long and I can't be
forget it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the right one. This is just like a
wrong
compilation.
Headline. This is what we get for having to pick out shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cute anyways. Go British kids. If we can all agree on something.
Like a backpack for your backpack.
I'll save some of these. I'll save them because we have to get to something I teased here. Let me pay this off real quickly. We'll get into the other emails before the end of the show, I promise. Scott Peterson, in the case of Scott Peterson, who just for the record is definitely guilty of killing his wife, Lacey Peterson, in a brutal way because he didn't want to be tied down with a child. And all the people defending him are a mixture of weirdos, people who think he's hot, and legitimate...
He's not hot.
Legitimate people who are driven by empathy but are maybe led down the wrong road. That's like the coalition of people that go behind Scott Peterson. The Los Angeles Innocent Project filed a lengthy petition late last week claiming to have uncovered evidence that Scott Peterson, convicted of killing his wife Lacey Peterson and their unborn son Connor, is not guilty. They said the case against him was entirely circumstantial and that the petition filed with the California Court of Appeals shows issues with the police investigation and that prosecutors withheld critical information during his extremely high-profile trials. The new information is like some whispers that there was a break-in next door to their house.
That was all covered.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
done.
There's nothing groundbreaking, earth-shattering bombshells. If there was, I'd tell you.
Does the Innocence Project not kind of pick and choose?
I feel like
their
it's
battles
just expanded so much. There's now
Sometimes.
chapters, and the new chapters are like, we'll take what we can get.
Sometimes it's troublesome for me because it is legitimately a great thing.
Yeah.
A great thing to have organizations that seek to find innocent among the guilty in our prisons. Great thing. But then sometimes we go astray and it's like,
oh, they're choosing these high-profile cases for what? I mean, obviously it's making the headlines, but it doesn't necessarily shed a good light. Pick the completely ignored cases in which people just were sent to jail.
Oh, and for
No
every
proper
Scott
backup.
Peterson, there is thousands and thousands and thousands of those kind of cases.
Love the whisper part of it, where it's like he also whispered about getting a boat and where he was going, and making his own anchors to send bodies down to the bottom of the lake. But all right.
We just watched a movie almost exactly like this, honest to God. Hang on. let me
Inside
see if
Out
I can pull
2,
this
I
up.
believe.
No, it wasn't that, unfortunately. It was a movie called, have you guys ever heard of the movie Conviction?
I just watched that.
Conviction was the name of the movie, and it's with Hilary Swank and Sam Rockwell.
Yes,
And it's based on a true story where this it's a beautiful story. This woman who's younger, her and her brother are kind of like cast-offs from a family, and they grow up in the foster home system. And her brother gets accused of a heinous murder, stabbing death of somebody. And she tells her brother, I'll fight for you. He gets convicted and he gets sent to prison for life. And she says, I'll fight for you. And she goes and gets her GED and then goes and enrolls at a place where she can learn to be a lawyer and then fights through all of this, even though she didn't have any formal education.
Oh, I cried so much.
And she got past the bar exam and then like fought all the way through the system because she loved her brother so much and she knew that he was innocent. And that was based on a true story. That was like actually, there was a true story that was based on. Those cases are amazing and should be highlighted, and we need to make sure the justice system is fair. These ones are distractions. Scott Peterson's good.
Yeah.
Quick break. When we come back, there's a particular type of car that you need to worry about. Big problems with this one. You might not be able to start it, even though they say you should go to the dealership immediately. What's going on? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4.
Hang tight. Stand by, Skullbikers. All right. Yo, yo, yo. Tim emails the show. Tim says about Elon Musk, maybe Elon's leaving because he's making Hitler salutes on stage, not so much his political views. Sure. We are more than ever looking at people in 2 different movie theaters, watching 2 different movies with 2 different sets of facts. And in often cases, neither one of them are attached to reality very firmly. And this is the black pill moment of the week, baby. There is no solution for fixing it. No solution for fixing it. Folks, go grab the gifted sub. Is that still up? I think it is. Big thanks, and I'll give you a shout out next. Big thanks to Mel Bell for gifting secret shows. Thank you so much for gifting secret shows. That's a magnet headed your way. You can participate in Game of Magnets. Gift a sub, spread the word about secret shows, uncensored shows each week that you can get into. Give you full access to the website, all the features. No pop-ups, none of that stuff. And you can gift secret shows over at thenewsjunkie.com/gift. Big thanks to that person. Go claim the one that's up there if it's still up there right now. Abraham says, what color pill options are there? All of the pills are dumb except for the black pill option, the doomer pill option. Because it's so easy to be doomer pilled. Doomer pilled is when you just see all the content out there that's being funneled into people's brains, when you see how astray people are, how far they are, how untethered they are to reality, and how even if you approach them and correct them on things, they'll still untether again because they just want to believe either one story or another story. That is a black pilling thing that will just show you that we're screwed until normal people try to take charge and tell all the dumb, very political, brainwashed people to shut up. Arnott says, I feel like one side has a good grip of reality. I maintain that 10% of the right and 10% of the left are batshit crazy, insane people. They're poisonous. Their personalities are absolutely poisonous. They're people who are negative impacts on society at large. They're miserable human beings. And if you are in that situation or know somebody in it, you should do everything to get yourself or somebody else out. But the idea that one side is tethered and the other is not is simply not true. Most Democrats that I meet don't think 3-year-olds should be trans. Most Democrats and regular people that I meet have things that most Republicans would agree with as just guiding principles. Most Republicans that I meet aren't crazy Trump no matter whaters where they try to fillet him at every corner. Most Republicans that I meet don't want to shoot people and don't actually want fascism and don't like this. You're just not interacting with real humans. You got to log off if that's what you're seeing. BDMXCon says, if all your beliefs line up with one of the parties, they're not your beliefs. Very true. That's what I always think of. Like, imagine being in a room full of people and you're like, what does everybody think about abortion? And everybody agrees perfectly. What does everybody think about this, and everybody agrees perfectly? Like, how weird is that? We're humans. We have different experiences. We should have different thoughts on all sorts of things. But the parties won't let you dissent on anything. If you're a Democrat and you dissent from any of the left-wing stuff, online at least, they'll eat you alive, like monsters. Nut jobs. Same thing with the right. If you have anything critical to say about Trump, they'll lose their minds and gaslight you into oblivion. Most of them are absolute retards who don't belong in any sort of normal conversation. But I digress. Okay, folks. Guess what we're going to do next break? Next break, we're going to pick our chatter of the day. One of you beautiful people will be our chatter of the day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Let's see what we got left.
best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of acceptance insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great. But don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the...
Thanks to M. Warnock and Miam7 for being the latest Secret Shows subscribers. Unlock Secret Shows over on the newsjunkie.com or gift Secret Shows to a random user on the website, and you get yourself a magnet just like Mel Bell. Thank you, Mel Bell, for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. Love you. Thanks for spreading the word. Learn more on the website. Phil sends over a story that we can get to real quick here, and salutes and kudos to go out to NASA's oldest active astronaut that has returned to Earth on their 70th birthday, which is crazy. Yeah. A real ass astronaut, all right? This is Don Petit, who became a septuagenarian, meaning 70 years old, while hurtling toward Earth in a spacecraft to wrap up a 7-month mission above the International Space Station. 70 years old.
It's bad for old people.
Oh, yeah. They had to carry him when he landed. I saw this guy being carried from one place to another. Here he is. NASA's oldest active astronaut returns to Earth on his 70th birthday. Kudos to you, Don Petit.
I would hate that picture if I was him. It's just not.
I mean, at what point do you retire? I feel like astronauts have the opportunity to retire much earlier, considering all that they do, and this guy's still going up there.
This guy's going, but I think this might be it. It says spending 220 days in space.
Oh, my God.
Petit and his crewmates, Ovechkin and Wagner, orbited Earth 3,520 times. They completed a journey of 93.3 million miles over the course of their mission. It was the 4th space flight for this guy, but now at 90 years old, he finds himself back down on Earth.
70.
90? I'm sorry, 70, excuse me. 70 years old, he finds himself back down on Earth. And I don't know if that's what I saw last night, but last night it was dark and we went on our walk around the neighborhood.
I'm just going to guess.
What?
No,
probably. No, it wasn't that because
this guy just landed in Kazakhstan.
We were walking and Courtney goes, "What's that?" And I go, "I don't know." And she goes, "Is that a rocket?" And I looked over and I was like, "Oh, that clearly looks like a rocket taking off over there or something." There's a big flaming rocket taking off and going up. I didn't even know there was anything going on yesterday, but
they
imagine
launch
that had to
them
be
all
the
the
case.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, from my house, and I look insane every time I do it, but I'll watch Fox 35. They're like, it's about to take off, and then I just run out and just peer through the trees, and at some point I can see it. And I'm like, look at us.
I know.
How blessed are we to be able to see this for the 400th time?
Isn't it still a crazy breakthrough that we can do that kind of stuff?
Absolutely.
Look around. The rest of this planet is populated by animals. We are animals too. We forget this. We are animals too. We're just another creature. We might be a special one. And I know you folks who are religious probably think otherwise, but we're the most special among them. And we have not only learned to build things and make cars and build technology and done this, mind you, in a short time. Allow me to bore you for just a moment here.
All right.
I'm currently reading a book about the United States in the King Philip's War, the 1600s. And it's a period of time when...
Flag on the field. There was no United States in the 1600s.
When the first Europeans arrived to the United States of America and started interacting with all the tribes and stuff. And, some of them had it coming. And it's about all that period in history. And what's insane is in the late 1600s, things were not wildly different than they were in the 1500s or the 1400s or the 1300s or the 1200s and on I can go. It is only really as of the turn of the 20th century that we started to haul ass and to think about what we've accomplished since just 1900 to 2025. And the idea that we almost like yawn off some of these rocket launches and stuff is
without a doubt
crazy.
And to think what we've accomplished in the last 20 years is still mind-blowing for our grandparents, those that are 70, 80, 90 years old. Never in a million years would they think that the technology would be where it's at right now.
Oh, my dad would be freaked out. Yeah, my dad would see AI and go like, what is this? No way. I don't want anything to do with this right now. He would not be a fan, I don't think.
My dad would be like, here, I got you this device from Japan. I found it on eBay.
Check this out. Still good, though.
It sounds like a rocket.
Still good. All right. If you are a car owner and there is an issue where they say, look, you might need to bring in your vehicle for this recall, that could be problematic, especially if your car won't start, and that's the reason why the recall is going on. This is what's happening right now for people.
Tow our vehicles to the recall place?
Some people are having this problem. This is an issue that's happening with people who are driving Saabs.
Nope. Bye.
Saab, the old
like
Saab
my name,
SAB. SAAB, key not accepted, contact Saab dealer is an error that people are getting. This is what it looks like on the dashboard for those of you on YouTube and Twitch.
So it's a fob?
It's an issue on the dashboard where it lights up and it says key not accepted, contact Saab dealer. And it's got a little light warning that's a key. And this is happening on a lot of these Saab vehicles. The problem is, they say to go to the dealership, and you can't go to the dealership when your car's not starting.
Are they offering part of the recall a tow service?
Also, I think they closed the Saab dealerships.
Apparently they have not.
You can't go to those. Is there still a Saab dealership out there?
I feel like you'll find a new Saab in conjunction with other cars these days.
I see Saab repair shops.
Like Genesis and Hyundai. They're both in the same dealership.
No, I think Saab is ripped, though. They don't make Saabs anymore,
So
right?
then how is this a thing?
It's still a problem that the cars are having. A bunch of them that are out there. Saab Automobile was a car manufacturer, as in was, founded in Sweden in 1945. It shut down 2010, 2011, shut down in about 2014 when they were making some electric vehicles. But now they are getting these errors, and you can't really take them anywhere to get fixed.
Wow.
Not a good time. You're
Look
screwed.
at that first Saab.
They're pretty ugly vehicles, if I'm honest with you.
I kind of like it. I like the classic look.
Go for it.
And is this, that's a European Saab, is it not?
Yeah. You could get them, though, here in the U.S. I've seen people driving them. Every once in a blue moon, you'll see one.
That's a right-side drive. It is European.
Thank you. Points.
Yep. But you could still get these cars in the U.S. As a matter of fact, I think I knew somebody in high school that might have had a Saab. It was either
Are they a
Saab
lesbian now?
A really old Volkswagen. No, that's Subaru, isn't it? Or is Saab lesbian
we have
too?
more than one make. Thank you.
I would defer to you on that. I do not know. But here's...
I don't know if my dad actually drove a Saab or was just shopping for one, but he would always, because his mother was from Sweden, my dad always wanted to buy Swedish.
Oh, that's sweet.
He got a brand new dishwasher once, and he's like, yeah, it's Swedish. I was like, that's why you bought it, isn't it? It could be a piece of crap.
Still had loyalty after all those years, huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
just
amazing.
Cabinets full of the fish and stuff.
Now, hold on. Your dad kind of identifies heavily with the Swedish side of things?
I wouldn't say heavily. But, he appreciates that that's part of his heritage.
He has some sort of Swedish pride, I should say.
Yes.
And what about you? Do you identify with that at all?
Vaguely, if we're talking about where my ancestors come from.
I don't identify with any of that. In being like French and Irish and Canadian and then American, like I don't have attachments to any of that. I only have attachments to just my experience of being an American. I don't know. I've never visited these places. Like if I went there, I wouldn't know a single person. I wouldn't know a soul.
My dad visited Sweden with his mother while she was still alive, and so she still knew people, but that was very, very many moons ago.
That's way more of a connection, though. I can see why that would make sense. All right, we're going to do a quick break here. When we come back, here's what we got for you. Final dispatches will also work on these final emails. If you want to yell at the finish line here, or just say, we're doing a great job. If you want to say... hello to the finish line in a nice way and say something nice to us on the way out. You could do that too. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, we'll talk about safe play and how it affects kids that play sports. At 4, we'll do What You Do That's New. For trivia, it's Orlando City tickets and Tijuana Flats gift cards. And we'll end it up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Happy Tuesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and our hot and dry stretch continues. Temperatures will be warming up in a big way with afternoon highs nearing the 90-degree mark once again. We'll also be seeing a couple of clouds that will give way to a partly to mostly sunny sky. We are still quite dry. We need the rain, but as of right now, we don't have any substantial rain in that extended forecast. High temperatures will stay right around the upper 80s and low 90s into the weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Savings Plans. Did you know that by 2031, 72% of all jobs will require higher education? Now's the time to invest in your child's future. And the smartest way to save for college is with a Florida Prepaid Plan. Open enrollment is now, and plans start at $29 a month. Start today.
Folks, let me tell you about Mills Air, an amazing company that's going to keep you nice and cool, and your AC breaking down is going to be something that they remedy very quickly. That's what the techs at Mills Air do. They know these things from top to bottom, no matter what kind of AC you have. They're a locally owned and operated, family-owned and operated company, and they are going to be right by you, or do right by you. They'll be honest. That's what you deserve. A lot of these companies will lie and try to gouge you for as much as they can, but at Mills Air, they want you to be a customer with your air conditioner for life. So if you want that, if you want to be treated that way, which I think you deserve, give them a call at Mills Air. 407-277-1159. 407-277-1159. Or find them online. Stay put. Stay put. Potential craziness. Hello? Did you get rid of it? Gross. No. Yuck. Gross. Hang on. Hot mic, folks. Courtney just found something in the pool skimmer. It's very alarming, I'm warning you. It's very alarming. I'm going to show you this. You tell me what this is that she found in the pool skimmer. What is that? What is that? What is that? That's in the pool skimmer. All right, we're coming back. What the hell is that thing? That was in the pool skimmer. I have no idea. Like a little creature of some type. Yeah. I think it's in mole territory.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeartRadio. Spontaneous pizza cravings can happen at any moment, so they've got you covered. Get 2 bigger slices of hot, delicious pizza plus a Pepsi 20-ounce for just $5 with 7 rewards. Craving satisfied. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for details.
April is World Wish Month, and iHeart is proud to partner with Make-A-Wish on the Wishmakers Wanted campaign. Did you know that everyone has the power to make a wish come true? Even you. It's as easy as sharing your time, talent, or treasure, but most importantly, taking action to support Wish Kids. As long as children continue to face devastating critical illnesses, they'll be counting on the support of Wishmakers like you. Get started today at wishmaker.org.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is
that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. And thank you for spreading the word if you actually did that today. Thanks for telling people about the show. We appreciate that greatly. Lot to do and a very little time on the way out here. Kind of freaking out. Courtney found this. At first I thought she was showing me a salad spinner. And that's what I was looking at. I was like, oh, don't eat that. Whatever that is, your salad is no good right now. But she said this is the pool skimmer. And I don't even know what this little creature is. What even? It's like a hairless like a little creature. No, it's not a dog. How big is it? That's the tail right there. It's probably about 2 inches.
Scary.
That's a possum?
It's
mole?
Something. Maybe a mole. I hope it's not a mole.
Moles don't have tails like that.
Because I'll go mole crazy if it's a mole in the backyard.
Well, we do know it's dead AF.
Yeah, that's rough. Folks.
It really does look like a fun summer salad, though, when you zoom out.
Until you see that thing in there.
Gotta tell you.
I gotta take a little spoonful of this with some protein on top. Nom, 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 nom. Oh,
Angela on YouTube says it's a baby animal. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. Yeah.
Animal expert. Put us down.
Animal of some sort. It's a weird looking creature, I'll be honest with you.
I'll try to pop that up on See It Now. Otherwise, you can always go back to the video. And if you don't know how to do that, the video from the show is up every day on the website. If you go to thenewsjunkie.com, under featured, you'll see the show. Like today's is live and blinking right now. And you can see that it says, who will be the next pope? All these are previous show archives, and you can watch them back if you'd like. If you're more of a podcast fiend, we are on iHeartRadio and wherever you get your podcasts, those links as well over on thenewsjunkie.com. We don't have a lot of time, though, so here goes nothing. Let's get out of here.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
We even have time for one? Oh, let me shut this down quick.
Yeah,
Move this
30
over
seconds.
here. Quick. Here is Rogue Florida Man.
How's it going, Sean?
Hey.
Hey, just to let you know, there was a rocket launch yesterday at around 8:40. There was also one in the morning.
All right.
Missed 2 of them yesterday.
Oh, right.
And what I find very strange
Yeah,
is if there's a 70-year-old astronaut, but we make our airline pilots retire at 65. mandatory.
Yeah. You do. That's interesting. But, I mean, if somebody's willing to go to space, I'm willing to let them go up there.
How
Have
sure
fun.
they piloting it, though, in space?
Yeah, they're just hanging out, probably. If they're the 70-year-old guy, they may, I don't know, maybe he's doing more than everybody combined.
Yeah, my skin doesn't move.
All the stories made the cut. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Today I learned this particular band that you're about to hear right here.
Oh, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
That's right, CCR. Tom Fogerty, the rhythm guitarist at Creedence Clearwater Revival, brother of John Fogerty, contracted HIV from an unscreened blood transfusion. The guy had back surgery in the 1980s, and he ended up dying in the early 90s, this guy. He was in a band called Spiderweb and the Insects, and then, boom, landed the gig on CCR's roster.
No
and the
revival.
rest is history. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow.